By cyclists, North Kildonan residents are speaking out over an area trail they say is becoming more dangerous, and the appeal to be courteous to pedestrians. Also today, a high-flying con artist caught. What's next for the former Canadian flight attendant who pretended to be a pilot for free flights? Plus, a new tool in the battle against opioid overdose. The drug specifically targeting withdrawal symptoms, how it works, and when paramedics could start getting it to patients on the streets. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Tuesday to you. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, Ainsley is continuing her journey with Folklorama, and today she is visiting the Slovenia Pavilion. We're going to get all the details about the food, the costume, the dress, the traditions, and of course, some of the dancing. We're going to see a lot of dancing this morning, which
awesome.
I love on the morning show. It's a great way to wake up in the morning. Yep. But it's also nice when it's kind of nice outside. How's it going to be today on this Tuesday?
It's going to start off pretty similar to what we saw yesterday, but could get a little cloudier as we move through the day. 11 degrees outside right now. Mostly clear skies, very light winds out of the north. Pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 96%. Not much to show you on the Skywatch satellite on this side. However, up in the Swan River area, some showers and rain rolling through that region this morning. There is a risk of thunderstorms there as well as we move throughout the day. Taking a look at the futurecast, you can see those storms developing in the Parklands region. Now, they're going to taper off a little south of there in the Brandon area. You could see a little bit of precipitation as well. Here in Winnipeg, probably avoid it over the Interlake, maybe a random shower here or there. Up north, same thing, some scattered showers, risk of some thunderstorms in some areas. Getting a little cloudy down here in the south as we get into Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. Now tomorrow we could see a few scattered showers as well throughout parts of Manitoba, but relatively clear skies. Later in the week, though, that's when we could see a little bit of rainfall. So here in Winnipeg today, a high of 25, right on the mark for the seasonal average, dipping to about 14 degrees overnight. Mix of sun and cloud over the next couple of days. Again, kind of kicking around that seasonal norm. Now, Friday, there is a chance of some showers developing in the afternoon, overnight into Saturday as well. Sunshine returning on Sunday with a high of 24, and then Monday getting up to 26, but a risk of thunderstorms.
Thank you, Daniel. Manitoba's first supervised consumption site is set to fully open today in Winnipeg after lengthy delays. The province aimed to open a site in 2025, but pushed back against the initially chosen location, and other complications caused delays. The NDP government is partnering with a nonprofit agency, Aboriginal Health and Wellness, to run the site. The site on Henry Street in central Winnipeg has been criticized by some business owners and residents concerned about security, while the opposition Progressive Conservatives have said the government should focus on treatment. The site doesn't provide drugs, but is meant as a place where the potential harms of using them can be reduced while also connecting people to support services. North Kildonan residents are speaking out over an area trail they say is becoming more and more dangerous due to unsafe cyclists. And they want the city to step up after a husband and wife were hit twice on Sunday night. CTV's Joseph Bernacki explains.
It was very bizarre. I felt like it's kind of, are we under attack or something?
North Kildonan resident Oksana Melnick says her walk Sunday night with her husband on this trail was one they will remember for the wrong reason.
We were hit by a cyclist twice in a time period of about 5-10 minutes.
Melnick says the first cyclist did not slow down or ring a bell.
So they basically just pushed us and passed through.
Minutes later, she says a young boy clipped the couple by accident.
He literally drove into us. So he was on his phone. He had his headphones. I think he got scared as well as we did.
Her family uses this trail almost every day. The Northeast Pioneers Greenway connects East St. Paul with North and East Kildonan as well, as far as Elmwood. She says it's time the city of Winnipeg invest in signage along the path.
Slow down, ring your bell. Maybe those visual reminders are very important, especially with electric scooters lately. It's very popular. Electric bikes as well.
And it seems some cyclists agree signs are a good idea.
You could say something like pedestrians be aware of cyclists, cyclists be courteous to pedestrians.
Another near miss happened to this rider Sunday night.
2 guys, 1 in each lane, and they didn't even move over and get in one line so that I could drive by. Guy would have took me out if I didn't move over into the bushes myself a little bit.
Area Councillor Jeff Brawadi walks his dog down this trail. He says there have been several complaints and thinks the city should invest in signs.
Both signage as well as public education, letting people know that, hey, you should be taking care of other people using these paths. It's multi-use.
Mark Coho, Executive Director of Bike Winnipeg, says cyclists should give pedestrians a heads up when passing.
I've got a bell, which helps me let people know that I'm behind them. If I'm on a pathway, I want to make sure I'm giving people space as well.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Coho says while all cyclists should be cautious, those on e-bikes need to consider their bike's weight and speed when sharing a trail. He says there is supposed to be a limit on e-bikes, a max speed of 32 kilometers an hour. He's calling on the federal government to consider reviewing e-bikes before they come into Canada to ensure this. A former Toronto flight attendant has pleaded guilty to posing as a pilot in order to get hundreds of free flights. CTV's John Woodward on how much jail time he could face.
Makes you wanna go. Dallas Pokornik boasted on social media of a high life, a jet-setting lifestyle that brought the former Toronto flight attendant to locations around the world. But U.S. authorities say Pokornik was cheating, posing as a commercial pilot to get over 200 free flights from airlines based in Honolulu, Chicago, and Fort Worth, Texas. Jet plane head up to the sky. Court documents filed in Hawaii say the scheme came down to earth when he presented the fake pilot ID to an airline employee in Panama who took a picture of the forged badge. The defendant's former employer reviewed the same picture of the badge and confirmed the badge to be fake. Pokornik was arrested and spent 30 days in jail there until he was extradited to the U.S. It's not clear what airline Pokornik worked for, though a Toronto-based airline that code shares with airlines in those cities is Porter. In a statement to CTV News, Porter said, "We're unable to verify any details related to this story." It's not the only pilot credential forged out of Toronto recently. Pilot Jeffrey Wall was charged by Peel Regional Police with faking a pilot's license for 20 years. That case unearthed after ID checking moved from paper to online.
Well, I was very surprised, actually, because the security at the airports is so strict at the moment.
CTV aviation expert Phil Dirty said security around pilot badges and airport restricted access cards could be looked at. Pilots getting these seats also have to be in uniform, something Dirty says shouldn't be relied on because realistic-looking ones are easily purchased online.
One of the things is that being an ex-employee of an airline, they knew what it was going to be, what the protocols were, and how to get through the security.
As for Pokornik, he pleaded guilty on Thursday to wire fraud and has agreed to pay the airlines back. John Woodward, CTV News.
A reminder, the Louise Bridge is closed this week for resurfacing work. The bridge closed to vehicles yesterday morning and isn't expected to reopen until next Monday at 6 a.m. You'll instead want to take the Disraeli or Pravache Bridge. The west sidewalk remains open to pedestrians and cyclists. A group of unusual visitors was spotted on a residential street in a town just outside of London, Ontario on the weekend. One resident said she first noticed the guests on her doorbell camera. It was a herd of cattle that was seen making their way along the quiet neighborhood street. Dozens of cows had escaped a broken fence and could be seen running down the streets in the area. The movement set off Lola Smith's video doorbell camera, so she ran out and filmed the animals on the move. According to local police, the cows had escaped on 2 separate occasions over the weekend. Community members managed to herd the animals back to their field. No injuries to cattle or otherwise were reported. All right, here's a look outside now at Portage Avenue at Polo Park. Looks like things are moving well to start off this Tuesday morning. If you see any problems out on the streets, please send us a text at 10400. Let's go back now to Ainsley, who is live this morning at a new pavilion, the Slovenia Pavilion. Good morning, Ainsley.
The only country with the word love in it. Folklorama has been around for 55 years, and we often talk about those original pavilions, but this pavilion has been around for 51 years, so just after and over 5 decades of history. Their dance group has been around for 75 years, and they're hitting that milestone this year. When you come to the pavilion, the cultural display showcases the various regions. And let me tell you, you're going to learn a lot. We're going to be chatting about the regional attire. We're going to see some beautiful headpieces, and we might even try some food. The sweets, my personal favorite, but there's also some awesome mixed cocktails that are infused with local. So we're going to tell you about the local businesses. We're going to see some live dances, and we're going to try the food. Who doesn't love Folklorama? It's my favorite 2 weeks of the year.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. We'll check in a little later. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's Tuesday morning. How's this day shaping up?
Absolutely beautiful start to the day. Sun's just about to peek out over the clouds to the east there, but absolutely beautiful, and it's going to be much of what we saw yesterday. Right now, though, 9 degrees, maybe a little foggy in some patches. Very light winds, though, to the west-northwest at 3 kilometers per hour. Pressure dropping, humidity sitting at 100%. As we make our way through the day, it's going to warm up to around 24, 25 degrees. Going to feel closer to 28 with the humidex. Much of the same for the southern part of the province. But as we progress into the afternoon, the clouds are going to roll in throughout much of the south. Up north, a 30% chance of rain in most regions up there. Here in Winnipeg overnight, dipping to around 14 overnight under partly cloudy skies again. But a lot of the same in store for Wednesday as well, with those temperatures around 24, 25. That's going to continue on Thursday as well. But there is a chance of rain on Friday, and lots happening in the city this weekend, from the Burt Block parties to the Bomber game. So I'll have your full forecast coming up shortly, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more CTV Your Morning Winnipeg.
Good morning. People in the midst of an opioid overdose are about to get a new intervention. Soon, the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service will administer a new drug officials believe will improve outcomes. It's called buprenorphine, and it's used to prevent withdrawal symptoms from opioids. The Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service says they responded to nearly 700 overdose calls in July, sometimes seeing the same patient multiple times in one shift. The hope is this new drug will give paramedics a chance to bring the patient to hospital or help them get some other type of care that can help prevent another overdose.
This is not a new medication. It's new to us in terms of pre-hospital care within the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service and in Manitoba, but it's a medication that has been used for this purpose in the hospital setting for quite a while already, and it's being used in other places in Canada as well.
Officials say they're still working on logistics and establishing pathways for future support once the drug is administered. They hope to begin giving it to patients in the fall. A fast-moving fire in the BC interior that has tripled in size over the weekend is now part of a police investigation. And while the Bald Range wildfire near Summerland remains a massive threat, it is just one of many in a province that is burning. The military waiting for a formal request from the province to provide reinforcements.
The Canadian Armed Forces are on standby, are in direct, constant contact with our Government Operations Centre, our emergency preparedness folks, the BC government, their officials.
CTV's Andrew Johnson is close to the wildfire zone.
36 hours after it sparked seemingly out of nowhere, RCMP are going public with their investigation into the wildfire that's chased 20,000 people from their homes, asking witnesses to come forward.
We will treat every fire as suspicious until proven otherwise.
With no lightning reported in the area Friday night, the fire that's now larger than the city of Vancouver could have been human-caused by accident or even intentionally set.
Even like a hot exhaust running through dense bush.
The neighbor's house is burning up.
New video is emerging of the frantic and tragic aftermath of whatever started the fire as it quickly began consuming homes west of Summerland.
It's like a freight train coming at you, the heat, everything. It's just, it's unexplainable.
All of Summerland and part of Peachland to the north were evacuated, communities in the heart of vacation and wine country south of Kelowna. An elderly woman died during the escape. Blair Duffy and his wife lost their home.
20 years of building everything we've built, to watch it go up in flames in 5 minutes, just gone.
For Jim Harnden and his wife Tracy, right now living out of their camper van in a Penticton Walmart parking lot, even these difficult days are a gift as Harnden lives with terminal cancer.
I don't know how much time I've got, and so I just want to make the best out of it.
They've had offers of places to stay, but are comfortable here for now. As long as Jim's health holds out, he's been receiving care in hospice, where he says the end-of-life camaraderie is helping to put this emergency in perspective.
Live together and tell each other stories. This is just one of them.
A story that for Harnden and thousands of others still doesn't have an ending. Officials have said it could be a week before anyone is allowed to return. And that's if the fire can be prevented from doing any more damage to their communities. Still a big if. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Penticton, BC.
Winnipeg's Health Sciences Centre has fallen victim to a ransomware attack. That's according to a Monday evening statement from Shared Health, which says an investigation into the attack's nature and scope are underway. Shared Health says HSC's maintenance systems, such as HVAC and door access, are affected by the attack. The agency says clinical and patient care services continue uninterrupted, and those needing care at HSC are being told to still go there. Shared Health says the Manitoba government has been notified. CTV News has reached out to the province but has not yet heard back. Shared Health says experts are being called in to help resolve the latest hacking, saying more details will be provided when they are available. New research suggests lifestyle changes can help prevent dementia. In a study published in Neurology, researchers tracked more than 12,000 people over 25 years and believe avoiding 3 things in middle age may help lower the risk of dementia. They found people who entered old age with normal blood pressure, no diabetes, and no history of smoking lived 13 years longer without dementia than those who had all 3 of those risk factors. Motorcyclists live for a nice long weekend ride. It's even better when they're riding for a good cause. About 600 motorcyclists enjoyed a 150-kilometer trek through York Region near Toronto. They were part of the 18th annual Ride for Sick Kids. Since 2009, the ride has raised almost $2 million for the Children's Hospital in Toronto.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires, proudly keeping Canadians rolling for 50 years.
We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. Following the rush on Grant Avenue, the westbound curb lane will be closed from Kenaston to Edgeland Boulevard. The eastbound curb lane on Sterling Lyon will be closed from Wilkes to Kenaston. And on Regent, the westbound curb and median lanes will be closed from Rougeau to Stapon Road. If you have any other traffic tips, please send us a text to let us know.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
About 9 degrees outside in Winnipeg right now. A little hazy, maybe a little fog here and there. Very, very light winds out of the west-northwest at 3 clicks. Pressure dropping and the humidity sitting at 100%. Taking a look around the province out in Swan River. Light rain falling there, expected to last over the next few hours. 15 degrees. Cooler down in Brandon and that surrounding area. 8 degrees right now here in Winnipeg. As I mentioned, 9 degrees north of us. Up in Gimli, 13. Could see a few scattered showers today as well. 16 just over the border in Kenora. Up north, a high, or rather 11 degrees right now in Churchill. Again, maybe a little bit of light rain there. 11 in Thompson as well, and in the northwest. Looking at 11 degrees in Lynn Lake as well. Now, as I mentioned, Swan River, that surrounding area, maybe a few showers here and there this morning to kick off your day. But here in Winnipeg, 14 degrees around 8 a.m. So it's going to warm up over the next couple hours. The wind staying fairly light today, though. 24 this afternoon under a mix of sun and cloud. Wind still quite light, and then closer to dinner time, we should see some clouds rolling in. The wind shifting to the north, 15 degrees. And over the next few days, we're going to see much of the same. So 24 degrees tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud. A chance of some showers both Friday night into Saturday, but plenty of sunshine on Sunday and a high of 24 before Monday. High of 26, so a little above average with the risk of thunderstorms. Our pick of the day comes from Lily. She took this out in Lockport near the St. Andrews Lock and Dam. My favorite bird pelicans there. Send those pics to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca, and we'll be right back after the break.
Good morning. An Ontario company held a contest to find the oldest working air conditioner, and to the surprise of some, the winner has been cooling things off for decades. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
This old air conditioner is being removed from a home in Pickering, even though it's still running. Buttons Heating and Air Conditioning had a contest to find the oldest working air conditioner in Durham region. And this unit, made by a company called Fetters, was still going strong.
Was it still blowing cold air? It was. I came here last week to do the confirmation. It was working and it was cooling the house very well.
Nigel Charlton says there were more than 100 entries in the contest, which included working air conditioners that were 41, 43, and 44 years old. But this model was the oldest working unit at 52.
Look after it, keep it clean. It'll look after you.
95-year-old Lois Kemp remembers getting the air conditioner in 1974.
I was just a teenager when it was installed.
Steve Kemp says he remembers when the family got the air conditioner and says over 52 years he doesn't recall it breaking down, not even once.
It's been there since 74, and like every year we've maintained it, we've cleared it, we've covered it in the winter. We've always cleaned it in the spring, make sure it's running top notch.
Winning the contest means Lois will get a brand new Daikin air conditioner. Charlton says it will be more efficient and save her money.
Yes, it's been running for 52 years, but if anything happened, she wouldn't be able to fix it. But she's got a brand new one that's more efficient. It's going to be quieter and far less taxing on her energy bill.
This past winter, the company had a contest for the oldest working furnace. The winner came in at 69 years old.
I don't recall us ever having any troubles whatsoever. Not one.
With the new air conditioner in place, Lois is optimistic that it will last for many years to come.
Well, I hope so.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Lululemon has released a new bag and is getting a lot of attention because of its size. The bag is huge. It can hold up to 80 liters of stuff, and people have a lot to say about the size of this thing. One reviewer writes, "I took it with me to my summer backpacking trip in Europe. I was able to bring back the Eiffel Tower, the Colosseum, and many other monuments in it. The only downside is that Frontier Airlines made me check it because it's too big for a personal item." Another writes, "My therapist didn't think it was possible. Congrats to Lulu on constructing a tote large enough to accommodate all of my emotional baggage." Others include, "I bought this bag for my mother-in-law. Unfortunately, it was not big enough for her ego, and purchased this bag for my daughter to use as her lunch bag for work. She loves the style and material, but was disappointed that she could only fit her air fryer and tongs, but not her air fryer and crock pot." Very handy. A museum at the heart of Silicon Valley is celebrating the computers of the past with a two-day event. The Computer History Museum is hosting vintage hardware with everything from Atari to IBM machines up for display. Visitors can catch a glimpse of the tech while it's still up at the annual Vintage Computer Festival. We're going to take a break now. We'll be back right after this short break. Outside right now, it looks a little gloomy, but it's actually a little foggy.
As Environment and Climate Change said, a little shallow fog, in fact. Now, not much in terms of affecting visibility, but yeah, a little foggy, maybe a little hazy out there. 9 degrees, very, very light winds out of the west-northwest, pressure dropping and the humidity sitting at 100%. It's quite nice out there from when I was up on the roof. Not much to show you down in the southeast here this morning. In the west, though, in the Parklands region around Swan River, some light showers this morning expected to last over the next few hours. Parts of the Interlake could see that as well. Here in Winnipeg today, getting all the way up to 25 degrees today, which is right on the mark for our seasonal averages for this time of August. Southwest winds about 10 kilometers, so those winds remaining light again. Partly cloudy skies, but as we move into the late afternoon, that increasing cloudiness heading into the evening overnight. Mostly cloudy skies, the wind shifting a bit out of the northwest, dipping down to 14 degrees. Tomorrow getting up to around 24. Yet again, wind out of the northwest, a mix of sun and cloud. And much of the same on Thursday, a high of 23, then under a mix of sun and cloud. Now on Friday, expected to be pretty cloudy, a high of 23 degrees, though there is a chance of some showers developing in the afternoon, into the evening, overnight, into Saturday, so it could be a little bit of a rainy weekend, which could dampen some of the celebrations happening around the city. But the sun returning on Sunday with a high of 24 before all the way up to 26 on Monday with a risk of thunderstorms.
The province's police watchdog has been called in after a cyclist was rushed to hospital following a crash involving a police vehicle Friday night. The IIU said the officers were responding to a call for assistance and were westbound on Portage Avenue. Police say the officers entered the intersection of Portage and Gary Street on a green light and struck the cyclist who was traveling north on Gary. The IIU says the officers got out of their vehicle and provided first aid to the cyclist. She was later rushed to hospital and treated for a fractured clavicle and bruising. The IIU is asking anyone who may have witnessed the crash or have video footage to contact them. There are now 11 candidates vying for the city's top job. Realtor Brad Gross has officially registered his candidacy for mayor. Gross says his main priorities include building a safer city, finding long-term solutions for the city's streets, and bringing back the previous transit system. He previously ran for mayor in 2010. Winnipeggers head to the polls October 28th. A Winnipeg councillor wants the city to build a major 4-lane roadway, which would become a key part of an inner ring road system. But to pay for it, Russ Wyatt is suggesting a fee be used that's already been struck down by the courts. Russ Wyatt says the need for such a roadway was identified and supported by council back in 2008. The plan was to call it the Ed Schreier Parkway. However, to pay for it, Wyatt suggests the city ask the province to amend the City of Winnipeg charter and give it the power to charge a transportation area fee. In 2020, a court ruled a similar impact fee was an invalid tax, and the city was forced to refund tens of millions of dollars to developers. Wyatt's idea will be discussed at the next East Kildonan Transcona Community Committee. A suspect has been found dead after he shot and injured an officer in Calgary.
And he was also shooting at our Hawk helicopter. So several rounds fired from this offender at trying to obviously injure and kill people, innocent people.
Officers were conducting a traffic stop in Spruce Cliff just west of downtown Monday morning when a man in the car opened fire. One officer was hit but is in stable condition. The suspect ran away, but police were able to track him using a helicopter. It's believed he continued to actively shoot at pursuing officers and nearby civilians. Police said the suspect then carjacked a vehicle and drove through a park until it became stuck. The suspect was found dead in the Bow River by a self-inflicted gunshot wound. No one else was hurt, and the officer who was shot is expected to make a full recovery. A full investigation is now underway. A Vancouver-based company says a new drug is showing promising signs of treating the symptoms of menopause. Here's CTV's Adrian Gobriel.
It's a natural biological stage that nearly every woman will have to navigate in their life, though it's packed with stigma as well as debilitating symptoms.
Dry eyes to brain fog to mood changes, anxiety, night sweats, hot flashes. Every system in the body can be affected.
Positive signs from a new experimental menopause drug that could help decrease hot flashes has been developed by a Vancouver-based company called Abcelera. Now, the news has sent the company's stock skyward, while also providing hope for those searching for a non-hormonal alternative to hormone therapy.
There's so many women who, unfortunately they have breast cancer, for example, and they can't take hormones, right? So this would be like a good alternative.
Advocates say that for too long, women have been suffering in silence, unable to access reliable treatments during their prime adult years.
At the height of my professional career, I had never heard of the word perimenopause, had no idea that you could have 30-plus symptoms.
A study by the Menopause Foundation of Canada found that 1 in 2 women feel unprepared for this stage of life, while 4 in 10 are reporting that they feel alone. Janet Coe co-founded the foundation to help break down the taboo and to close the knowledge gap while working to improve treatment.
For myself, it was a long and winding path to finding health and wellness, and I actually stepped away from an SVP role in my prime to really figure out what was happening to myself.
A 2003 study on menopause and work in Canada estimates that the unmanaged symptoms of menopause cost the economy $3.5 billion per year. While healthcare providers and advocates say today's announcement of a new possible treatment is positive news, more research and funding is needed to support women across the country.
An additional 12-week trial is expected for the new drug later this year. If approved, dosage would likely be a once-a-month self-injection. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Jeff Bezos is reportedly close to being a part owner of one of the biggest soccer teams in the world. Reports say the Amazon founder is close to a deal to buy a stake in Premier League club Liverpool. Bezos is part of a consortium which also includes Facebook co-founder Eduardo Saverin. Liverpool is owned by Fenway Sports Group. The club is valued at more than $8 billion Canadian. Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic along the Norwood Bridge. Things look pretty smooth starting off this Tuesday morning. Barely anyone out here at this point in the drive. Here's a look now at your gas prices. The average in Winnipeg is $1.64. It's a small drop from yesterday's amount. And the lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your car today.
Ainsley is live this morning at the Slovenian Pavilion. We're going to find out a little bit more about Slovenia and why it's a great place to visit sometime this week. Stay with us.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires, proudly keeping Canadians rolling for 50 years.
Well, the sun is shining up here on the roof, just poking out from behind 300 Main there. About 9 degrees in Winnipeg right now. West-northwest winds quite light still. There may be a few little shallow patches of fog throughout the city, but nothing in terms of concern for visibility. It's going to get up to around 24, 25 here today. Much the same for the rest of the southern parts of the province. It's a little bit cloudier and more of a chance of some showers out to our west in Brandon and the surrounding area. Up north today, again, a chance of some rain from Thompson all the way up to Lynn Lake in the northwest. But fairly seasonal average temperatures for what we see this time of August, especially here in Winnipeg. It's almost like clockwork today. If I look at the seasonal high, 25, seasonal low, 12, and we'll dip down to around 14 tonight as the clouds start rolling in before much of the same in store for tomorrow. Ainsley McPhail is at the Slovenian Pavilion this morning. How you doing, Ainsley?
Oh, it's great if it's a day that's folklorama based. Ava is joining me from the Slovenian Pavilion, and this cultural display is very vast. You're definitely going to learn something about the country and its culture. But which region are you and your family from?
So my family is actually from Prekmurje region. That comes from the head of the chicken. We always like to say that Slovenia kind of looks like a chicken. So my family comes from there, and yeah.
It's a good opportunity for people to come to the pavilion and learn. Tell us about what people can expect.
Well, you can expect to learn about a whole bunch of different regions of Slovenia. There's about 7 different regions, and we have a lovely cultural display. It's very vibrant and very well made.
Yes, and a really long history. What does it mean to you to be part of this history and future generations?
It means a lot to me because the community is very small, but we are very vibrant, and it's very unique because the population of Slovenia is only 2.1 million. So just having people come to Winnipeg, it's very small, but I love it so much. It's very unique.
And you know what? Somehow you just find each other. Isn't that funny? Winnipeg is just that way. Your cultural attire on your head is stunning. What can you tell us about it?
Well, I can say my outfit is from Gorenjska. That is a region in Slovenia. So actually a fun fact is the more gold you have on your costume, the more richer you are. So as you can see, I have this chain here. I have the gold on my zavijačka. Zavijačka means like a head wear. So these would be worn by single ladies, and then there's another headdress called an alba, and the alba is for married women.
Oh, great. And when you come to the pavilion, too, you're going to see various regions represented in the different attire.
Yeah, definitely. Bela Krajina is like a white region. They wear very white outfits. It's just plain and just have a lot of red accessories on their outfits. You can see that they wear beads, and it's very influenced by like Croatia and Hungary. Just we're bordered by them, right? So it's influenced by others.
Gorgeous. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys in the 7 o'clock hour.
Here's a look at the early markets. The Dow Jones is flat. The Nasdaq added 79 points. The S&P index had small gains. The Canadian dollar rose, set to 71.77 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng fell 284 points, and the Nikkei gained 1,363 points. Good morning. It is 6:46. One person has been sent to hospital after an early morning high-rise fire. Firefighters were called to this apartment building in the 500 block of Elgin Avenue around 4:30 Sunday morning. Smoke was found coming from inside the building as crews attacked the blaze. It took about an hour to get it under control. One person was rushed to hospital in unstable condition. The cause of the fire is under investigation. We're learning more about plans to develop a significant area in East Winnipeg. The South Transcona development encompasses some 1,300 acres between Plessis Road and Murdoch Road south of Dugald. Documents posted to the city's website indicate it's broken up into 4 sections. 2 existing areas occupy the northeast and central areas. The report says those will evolve over the course of the project, with any changes on the part of existing residents being voluntary. Future development is expected to be anchored by 2 areas, the West Town area and the East Town area. At the center of each are plans for higher density, mixed-use housing, retail, and facilities such as schools and grocery stores. A key piece of the plan is a corridor system linking the various green spaces and natural areas. The entire plan is expected to accommodate more than 20,000 people in 7,800 units and support 950 jobs. Defense Minister David McGuinty says Canada's review of its F-35 purchase has come up in trade talks with the U.S.
The question of an acquisition of that size would normally obviously be a point of debate or dialogue between 2 sovereign nations.
Canada has a deal to buy as many as 88 F-35s from U.S. company Lockheed Martin. 16 jets are already in production. The cost of the deal comes in at $27.7 billion. Prime Minister Mark Carney ordered a review of the agreement last spring as U.S. tariffs were ramping up. Ottawa hasn't given a timeline on when the review will wrap up. People in parts of Maple Ridge, BC are advised to stay indoors after a bear attacked a 3-year-old girl. Her mother spoke to CTV News. Take a listen.
I am still in shock. I have waves of just wanting to break down and just cry. But we've been staying strong for her. She's a brave little warrior. I cannot believe how tough she is.
The family was in their backyard when the girl started screaming. Her father was able to fend off the bear. The bear later returned and was shot by an RCMP officer before running off again. Wildlife Control says the animal will be killed when it's located. Kids Help Phone is making an urgent appeal for funds, saying demand for youth mental health support is surging across Canada. Kids Help Phone says it has seen a 24% increase in the number of texts it receives during overnight hours compared to last year. The service is getting a new message every 90 seconds on average each day. It says pressure on mental health resources is already growing ahead of the back-to-school season when demand normally rises. To address the issue, Kids Help Phone says all donations made by September 11th will be matched up to $250,000. A very special visitor went to the Tuxedo Community Center Monday afternoon. Yes, that is the Stanley Cup, arriving in the arms of Seth Jarvis, who helped claim hockey's ultimate prize this season with the Carolina Hurricanes. Folks got a chance to meet Jarvis and have their photo taken with him and the cup. Jarvis grew up in Winnipeg and played for the Tuxedo Lightning, Assiniboine Park Rangers, and Winnipeg Monarchs.
I mean, it's only, at least in my lifetime, I've only seen like two Winnipeggers, like Mark Stone and now Seth Jarvis, to ever raise the cup, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's like good to see somebody from our city to win the cup.
And those two youngsters were far from the only ones. The lineup to get into the building stretched across the center grounds and beyond. So cool. Some road closures to remind you about this morning following the rush. On Grant Avenue, the westbound curb lane will be closed from Kenniston to Edgeland Boulevard. The eastbound curb lane on Sterling Lyon will be closed from Wilkes to Kenniston. And on Regent Avenue, the westbound curb and median lanes will be closed from Rougeau to Stapp-on Road.
Taking a look outside right now, 9 degrees here in Winnipeg. A little bit of fog here and there. Winds out of the west-northwest at 3 kilometers per hour. Pressure dropping, humidity sitting at 100%. Well, it was a great afternoon for people to be stuck in a line out there to go see Seth Jarvis in the Cup. This morning, not much to show you on the satellite here in the southeast, but in the Parklands region, some light showers through areas like Dauphin and Swan River this morning, expected to last throughout the next few hours. Parts of the Interlake could see that as well. And taking a look around the province today, high of 12 up in Churchill. Rain expected there, 18 in Gillam. Cloudy skies, light chance of some rain there as well in Thompson. It's showing mainly cloudy skies, a 30% chance of some rain as well. Up in the northwest, fairly sunny skies, though there is a slight risk of, or slight chance of some rain throughout the region as well. High of 23 today in the Paw as well as in Norway House. To our west, cloudy in Brandon, high of 24 degrees. Again, a slight chance of some rain, but up north of there in Swan River and Dauphin, as we saw already, a little bit of rain, a risk of some thunderstorms as well. Here in Winnipeg and the surrounding area, we have highs in the mid-20s, 25 here, mainly cloudy skies. Chance of a little bit of rain up in Gimli and just over the border. In northwest Ontario, high of 26 today in Fort Francis. Very quick look at your 7-day forecast. Much the same tomorrow, high of 24, and much of the same on Thursday as well, high of 23.
Thank you, Daniel. Let's check in now on the team at 103.1 Virgin Radio. Hi, guys.
Hi, nice to see you, Rochelle. Did you have a good holiday?
I did. It was glorious. 3 weeks is a nice long break. I felt good.
No
pictures
kidding.
looked fun.
Yeah, your pictures did look really fun. And when you were traveling, you probably hit some construction somewhere along the way. It's unavoidable, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is the season of construction. It'll go until the snow starts to fall, and perhaps you've noticed, I mean, I think everyone has, think about it, when you go through construction either inside the perimeter or outside the perimeter, what do you see with that construction, Lloyd?
More than ever, we are seeing more and more porta potties in and around the city than we ever have before.
Yeah, right. Porta potties for construction groups, right? Again, inside the city, outside the city. You don't have to go very far, and you find these porta potties. Okay, now let's look for a local man. Oh, here's one.
I use them all the time.
This guy uses them.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I feel like I'm one of the first to think of this. All those porta potties, whether like I'm inside the city and there's construction, whether I'm like on the highway between like Dugald and Oakbank, or there's one in between like Stonewall and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I use those things all the time. I believe that the rules on those are the same as like international waters, which I've never actually known if that's a real thing. But I feel that those are the people's porta potties.
It feels weird to me. I pass one every day on my nightly walk with my wife. And it's pretty populated. And sometimes I have to go and I'm like, I can't do it. I feel weird.
No.
I feel like trespassing.
I'll tell you what you do. Get yourself a high-vis vest.
Yes.
Nobody
thinks twice
working
about
late.
it. Have you used them, Rochelle? Do you know anybody who uses them?
Well, you know what? Being in this job before I was doing the anchor spot, I was out in the field reporting. Sometimes when you're on the scene of a breaking news story, you can't just leave. And so I'd be desperately looking for somewhere to go. So if there was a porta potty in that zone, I would definitely have used it.
She's a real one. She's a real one.
Exactly.
You're going to be reported.
No, it's illegal. How
All
can
right,
it be
guys,
illegal?
thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
On Thursday, the 13th, Dufresne is gearing up for a very big event with lots of deals, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Mike, tell us about the event.
So twice a year, we hold this Sleep VIP event, and it's really a great time for our guests to come down, try out some mattresses, learn a little bit about how they sleep and how they can sleep better. And not only that, it gives us the opportunity to really show them what's changed, what's new in the department. And this year, we had the opportunity to launch a brand new collection called Quiet Loft that I'm super excited to show our guests.
I want to try it right now. Tell me about them, though.
So the cool thing about this was it gave us the opportunity to partner with a manufacturer out of Ontario that's family owned and operated. They're actually celebrating their 30th year in operation. And they gave us the opportunity to really build a product that really fixated on all of the things that help a guest get a better night's sleep. For guests who have temperature management problems, they're very cool to the touch, very breathable. They have a great support system in them, which cuts down on motion transfer in the bed, as well as giving you a great support. The nice thing about this as well is great pressure relieving foams with both gel and copper, so really good for moderating body temperature and just giving good pressure relief. So just everything a guest needs to have a great night's sleep.
Something else that makes me sleep better, that's deals. And you're going to tell me about some.
Yes, so I mean, obviously an event like this, we have to make sure we have great deals. So some of the things that we're offering, all of the mattresses are going to be on sale, so you know you're going to get a great deal. But then with the minimum purchase, you also have the opportunity to get a free lifestyle base, which helps to raise your head, open up your airways, make you breathe a little bit better and sleep a little bit easier. Or if you just want to beat the heat, we're also giving you the opportunity to take a free cooler.
I love it. One more time. That's Thursday, the 13th.
3 teenagers in China have set a record you need to see and hear honestly to believe. These 3 12-year-olds in southwest China just broke a world record at the 2026 Asian Jump Rope Championships. They made 496 successful jumps in just 60 seconds in the team event. It takes a lot of effort to be this good. Students at the school train 2 to 3 hours daily and even longer on holidays, 8 to 10 hours a day. Doesn't sound like a good time to me. Here's a look outside now at McPhillip Street. The drive looks good so far this Tuesday morning. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. It's Tuesday, August 11th. Today, North Kildonan Trail, why residents want action after a couple was hit twice by cyclists in one night. Plus, HSC ransomware, a cyber attack disrupts maintenance systems, while Shared Health says patient care remains unaffected. And safe consumption, Manitoba's first supervised site opens in Winnipeg following months of delays and opposition. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning. Happy Tuesday to 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, the real estate, the Regional Real Estate Board has just released some of its figures for July, and they broke some records. So we're going to find out on the latest on what's happening in real estate here in Winnipeg, as well as in cottage country, and some of the trends that they're seeing out there as well. But some of the trends we're seeing today, a little bit of haziness, some cloudiness, but things will clear up a bit.
For most of the day, at least. We're going to see kind of what we saw yesterday. Those beautiful mid-20 temperatures are expected. So right now, 9 degrees here in Winnipeg. A little bit of haze, a little bit of fog out there, but very light winds out of the west-northwest. Pressure dropping and the humidity sitting at 100%. We've been kind of watching the system roll through parts of the parkland today. So Swan River, Dauphin, seeing a little bit of light rain, and that's expected to last for a couple more hours, and heading into the Interlake as well. So areas like Gimli could see a little bit of rain as well this morning, but looking over the next 24, 48 hours or so, a little bit of rain there, some scattered showers up north as well. Now, as we move through Tuesday, we could see some more cloud coverage here in the southeast, while other parts of the province, as you can see, some scattered showers, nothing significant, nothing severe, but scattered showers heading into Wednesday, even a little bit of a chance here very early tomorrow morning of isolated rain. As we move through Wednesday, though, clearing up and looking like a pretty nice day yet again. And those seasonal average temperatures, I was talking about that yesterday. That's what we're seeing this week. So 25 high today with those clouds rolling in. 24 tomorrow, a mix of sun and cloud. 23 on Thursday as well. But as we get closer to the weekend, we could see some showers here on Friday evening, overnight into Saturday as well. Sunday, though, looking like a really beautiful high of 24. Monday, a high of 26, though there's a risk of some thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. Our weather art of the day is from 8-year-old Paisley. Folks, we are desperately in need of some art, so if your kid has a few minutes today, get them to draw something, paint something, and then you can submit your child's artwork on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Fill out the form. Their art can be shown here on Your Morning Winnipeg, and we'll enter you into a monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenaston and Regent.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle Paint Your Own Pottery, now open on Regent and Kenaston.
North Kildonan residents are speaking out over an area trail they say is becoming more and more dangerous due to unsafe cyclists, and they want the city to step up after a husband and wife were hit twice on Sunday night. CTV's Joseph Bernacki explains.
It was very bizarre. I felt like it's kind of, are we under attack or something?
North Kildonan resident Oksana Melnick says her walk Sunday night with her husband on this trail was one they will remember for the wrong reason.
We were hit by a cyclist twice in a time period of about 5-10 minutes.
Melnick says the first cyclist did not slow down or ring a bell.
They basically just pushed us and passed through.
Minutes later, she says a young boy clipped the couple by accident.
He literally drove into us. So he was on his phone. He had his headphones. I think he got scared as well as we did.
Her family uses this trail almost every day. The Northeast Pioneers Greenway connects East St. Paul with North and East Kildonan as well, as far as Elmwood. She says it's time the city of Winnipeg invest in signage along the path.
Slow down, ring your bell. Maybe those visual reminders are very important, especially with electric scooters lately. It's very popular. Electric bikes as well.
And it seems some cyclists agree signs are a good idea.
You could say something like, pedestrians, be aware of cyclists. Cyclists, be courteous to pedestrians.
Another near miss happened to this rider Sunday night.
2 guys, 1 in each lane, and they didn't even move over and get in one line so that I could drive by. Guy would have took me out if I didn't move over into the bushes myself a little bit.
Area Councillor Jeff Brawati walks his dog down this trail. He says there have been several complaints and thinks the city should invest in signs.
Both signage as well as public education, letting people know that, hey, you should be taking care of other people using these paths. It's multi-use.
Mark Coho, Executive Director of Bike Winnipeg, says cyclists should give pedestrians a heads up when passing.
I've got a bell, which helps me let people know that I'm behind them. If I'm on a pathway, I want to make sure I'm giving people space as well.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Coho says while all cyclists should be cautious, those on e-bikes need to consider their bike's weight and speed when sharing a trail. He says there is supposed to be a limit on e-bikes, a max speed of 32 kilometers an hour. He's calling on the federal government to consider reviewing e-bikes before they come into Canada to ensure this. Manitoba's first supervised consumption site is set to fully open today in Winnipeg after lengthy delays. The province aimed to open a site in 2025, but pushback against the initially chosen location and other complications caused delays. The NDP government is partnering with the nonprofit agency Aboriginal Health and Wellness to run the site. The site on Henry Avenue in central Winnipeg has been criticized by some business owners and residents concerned about security, while the opposition Progressive Conservatives have said the government should focus on treatment. The site doesn't provide drugs, but is meant as a place where the potential harms of using them can be reduced while also connecting people to support services. There is a desperate search for survivors in Colombia, where an earthquake has killed at least 132 people. The magnitude 7.4 earthquake hit western Colombia yesterday morning. It was the country's strongest recorded earthquake in the last decade. Much of the damage is in the cities of Pereira and Cali in the heart of Colombia's coffee-growing region. About 500 people were hurt, with almost 3,000 still missing. The army is being sent in to help with the response. Colombia has declared a state of emergency. People displaced from the BC community of Summerland are describing how homes that have stood for generations were destroyed in mere minutes by fire.
20 years of building everything we've built to watch it go up in flames in 5 minutes. Just gone.
Crews are battling the Bald Range fire that has forced all of Summerland and parts of Peachland to be evacuated. Steep terrain, poor visibility, and extreme heat are making it challenging to fight the fire, which has grown bigger than the size of Vancouver. Officials say it could be weeks before people are able to go home. As the fire burns, the RCMP has opened an investigation.
We will treat every fire as suspicious until proven otherwise.
There was no lightning reported in the area Friday, which was when the Bald Range fire started. The RCMP is asking any witnesses to come forward. Police have also arrested one person and fined another for defying evacuation orders. BC remains under a state of emergency with more than 100 active fires burning as of this morning. Winnipeg's Health Sciences Centre has fallen victim to a ransomware attack. That's according to a Monday evening statement from Shared Health, which says an investigation into the attack's nature and scope are underway. Shared Health says HSC's maintenance systems, such as HVAC and door access, are affected by the attack. The agency says clinical and patient care services continue uninterrupted, and those needing care at HSC are being told to still go there. Shared Health says the Manitoba government has been notified. CTV News has reached out to the province but has not yet heard back. Shared Health says experts are being called in to help resolve the latest hacking, saying more details will be provided when they are available. Here's a look at traffic now at Confusion Corner. It looks like things are moving quite well. We have no reports of any stalls or crashes or any delays in any part of the city right now. If you see anything out there, though, please send us a text.
Barrick Mining has appointed Sebastian Bach as Chief Executive Officer, Rest of World, effective immediately, with Bach reporting to President and CEO Mark Hill. Bach will lead Barrick's gold and copper operations outside North America, spanning Africa, the Middle East, Latin America, and the Asia-Pacific region. The company is in the middle of a controversial plan to spin off its North American operations. The stock closed down more than 6% yesterday. Canada could have a new energy customer. South Korea confirms it will keep up a search for oil supplies from outside the Middle East on expectations the Iran war will cause prolonged disruptions. Substitute crudes will be sought from regions including the Americas and Africa to try and stabilize local prices. Lululemon's Chief Strategy Officer, Rachel Atchison, left the company about a month before new Chief Executive Officer Heidi O'Neill is set to take over the retailer, according to a person familiar who asked not to be named, discussing confidential matters. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go down to Ainsley, who's live this morning at the Slovenia Pavilion. Good morning, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning. Our next segment, we're discussing the food. And I know yesterday I yammered on about food for a long time, but I have a feeling nobody is complaining. Look at these delicious menu items, the sweets, homemade. They prepare them here at the pavilion. And then we also have some traditional drinks too, many that are locally curated. So stay with us as we learn about that. Also, the pavilion itself been around for over 50 years. Their dance group celebrating 75 years, Tree Glove. And we're also just learning a little bit more about the country. Before we went to air, I said, tell me a fun fact about Slovenia. And they said, there's a fish that feels like human skin. I couldn't believe it. And when you look at it, well, you're just going to have to head to Google and let me know what you think. And they live for over 100 years. The world's mysteries here at Folklorama.
Discovered by
Good morning.
Ainsley. All right, thank you. Let's go out to the rooftop now. The sun is shining this morning, Daniel.
Yeah, it started off a little hazy, a little foggy, but that sun is out in full force now. It's absolutely beautiful up here. Now, we got up to around 11 degrees now. The wind shifting a little bit, but still quite light out of the west-southwest. And pressure rising, humidity is sitting at 100%. Yeah, it's glorious up here right now. Similar temperatures throughout much of the province, out in the Dauphin Swan River area. Maybe some light rain there. Gimli could see a little bit of rain this morning as well. Out in Brandon and that surrounding area, a bit cloudier, but again, some beautiful temperatures in store for today. Up north, Thompson, right now around 10 degrees. You could see a few scattered showers as well as we move through the day. Here in Winnipeg, we're going to get up to around 25 late this afternoon. But with that, we should see some more clouds roll in. Tonight, dipping down to around 14 degrees, those clouds sticking around. But the next couple of days, again, we're going to be around these seasonal averages for this time of year, which is 25 during the day. And later this week, heading into the weekend, we could see a little bit of rain. I'll have more of your forecast coming up a little later.
Weather is brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Research at bbb.org before you buy.
Thank you, Daniel. It's time now for our question of the day. We want to know, what skill would you like to have, but you don't? You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. And don't forget to include your name, please.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, whether they're furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals. Send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to Pet of the Week at ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. We're going to take a break now. We'll be back right after this with some entertainment news. People in the midst of an opioid overdose are about to get a new intervention. Soon, the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service will administer a new drug officials believe will improve outcomes. It's called buprenorphine, and it's used to prevent withdrawal symptoms from opioids. The Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service says they responded to nearly 700 overdose calls in July, sometimes seeing the same patient multiple times in one shift. The hope is this new drug will give paramedics a chance to bring the patient to hospital or help them get some other type of care that can help prevent another overdose.
This is not a new medication. It's new to us in terms of pre-hospital care within the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service and in Manitoba, but it's a medication that has been used for this purpose in the hospital setting for quite a while already, and it's being used in other places in Canada as well.
Officials say they're still working on logistics and establishing pathways for future support once the drug is administered. They hope to begin giving it to patients in the fall. A bomb threat on the U.S. consulate in Halifax triggered an evacuation that affected thousands of people downtown.
I need to go to the U.S. consulate for the visa interview. Yeah, it took months to get a available time slot. It's not easy.
The police say they first learned of the threat on Sunday. By Monday morning, officers had arrested a suspect. A search of his car inside a parking garage found a propane tank and several containers believed to contain flammable liquid. The explosive disposal unit was called in, and police started moving people out of several streets in the downtown core. The suspect remains in custody and could be in court as early as today. A UK watchdog says a radio station breached 2 of its rules after accidentally announcing the death of King Charles in a May broadcast. Radio Caroline apologized in May after airing the false messages. The national anthem was played, followed by nearly 16 minutes of silence before the regular program resumed. The presenter apologized 30 minutes after the messages aired. The UK communications regulator says the quote, very significant inaccuracy and the considerable length of time taken to acknowledge the error breached its rules. Motorcyclists live for a nice long weekend ride. It's even better when they're riding for a good cause. About 600 motorcyclists enjoyed a 150-kilometer trek through York Region near Toronto. They were part of the 18th annual Ride for Sick Kids. Since 2009, the ride has raised almost $2 million for the Children's Hospital in Toronto. Here's a look outside now at the St. James Bridge. Things appear to be picking up in this part of the city, but overall moving quite well. If you have any traffic tips or updates to share with us, text them to us, please, at 10400. Let's look now at some entertainment news. This doll is ready to dance with somebody. Whitney Houston is the latest addition to the Barbie signature series. It's dressed in a look from her I Want to Dance with Somebody music video and comes with a microphone and stand. Houston's sister-in-law and executor of her estate, Pat Houston, worked with the creative team at Mattel to create the doll celebrating the singer's signature style. Now to some sad news out of Hollywood. Ben Jones, the actor best known for playing Cooter Davenport on the TV series The Dukes of Hazzard, has died.
What you doing attached to my truck like this?
In a social media post, his wife says Jones had a heart attack while waiting to watch his beloved Atlanta Braves play Sunday. Jones rose to fame starring as mechanic Cooter Davenport on The Dukes of Hazzard. After playing Cooter for all 7 seasons of the series from 1979 to 1985, Jones turned to politics. He was elected to Congress, serving 2 terms. Ben Jones was 84. The trial has begun for a former gang leader accused in the decades-old killing of rapper Tupac Shakur, one of the most high-profile unsolved murders in the U.S. Prosecutors say Dwayne Davis, a former leader of a notorious L.A. street gang, ordered the killing and supplied the gun used in the 1996 drive-by shooting in Las Vegas. Davis is now 63 and faces life in prison without parole if he's convicted. Shakur, a beloved rapper whose legacy has endured since his death, was just 25 when he was killed. Tonight on your primetime lineups, start things off with The Big Bang Theory at 7. The Amazing Race Canada is next at 8. And Children Ruin Everything wraps things up at 9 o'clock. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
Beautiful outside right now, 11 degrees here in Winnipeg, under mainly clear skies, maybe a little hazy here and there. Very light winds out of the west-southwest at 5 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising, humidity sitting at 100%. Let's take a look around the rest of the province right now. Out to our west in Brandon, 9 degrees. North of that, 11 in Roblin, 14 in Dauphin, where you could be seeing some light rain right now. Here in Winnipeg, as I mentioned, 11 degrees. Similar temperatures around the rest of the region, 13 in Portage, 12 down in Sprague, and 15 just over the border in Kenora. Up north, 11 degrees in Churchill. Maybe a little bit of light rain this morning there too. 10 degrees in Thompson, a chance of some showers there today. In the northwest, 11 degrees. Way up in Lynn Lake, 13 in Flin Flon and the Paw. And here in Winnipeg today, we're going to see some beautiful temperatures. As I mentioned, parts of the parklands could be seeing a little bit of rain this morning. But here in Winnipeg today, this morning, 14 in the next couple of hours. Those winds remain quite light, getting up to 24 mid-afternoon under a mix of sun and cloud. Southwest winds still. Around 5 o'clock, we're going to start seeing a little bit more cloud coverage come in with north winds out about 15 kilometers per hour. And taking a look at that 7-day forecast tomorrow, much the same, 24 degrees high, 23 on Thursday. Now over the weekend, we could see some showers starting developing on Friday afternoon. Much or more of that on Saturday before the sun returns on Sunday with a high of 24. Our weather pick of the day comes from Lily, taken out in Lockport, of those beautiful pelicans there. Keep those pictures coming. Send them to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Finding furniture that's right for you? Well, you got to come into Dufresne in order to do that. Jess is with us, and what a beautiful couch we're sitting on. What are people looking for when they come into Dufresne?
Yeah, I think all of us, we like to gravitate towards color, and we want to make sure it's the right comfort. But there's a lot of furniture that actually does a lot more for you and makes things convenient for you. So nothing tells that story more than what we have here and we're sitting in. It's called the Expand. And so it has a lot of functionality to it, where there's power sliding seats, there's an audio console, storage in the chaise. It also has a performance fabric. So, you know, we always encourage people to come into the store and not judge a book by its cover when you're looking at a sofa, right?
And then you can bounce in. If this one's not for you, there's going to be another one.
Exactly, exactly. And things like modularity too. You know, a sofa works great perhaps, but with modular, where there's pieces that come apart, you really can design it and suit your space depending on what you're looking for.
I won't even lie to you. I did not know that there was storage in that. So that means it's doing its job.
It is, yes. Yeah, tuck away the things that you don't want to see at the end of the day. But yeah, it's really awesome, where there's also hidden cup holders. So you can have some cup holders there, but definitely in the arms as well. They pull out and you can have a drink and relax.
We're telling people to come in store, and they always should. But, or, I mean, heck, if you want to shop online, shop online. But coming in store has its perks, especially when there's deals.
Definitely. That's the thing. You know, you pass by something and perhaps you don't really understand the ins and outs of it and what it can offer as far as solutions for you. So you need to come into the store, chat with one of our salespeople. They're ready to walk you through it and help you experience the right product for your home.
And from your vantage point, you're making your living room or your space just that much nicer. You're upgrading.
You are, and you're making it just for you, really, at the end of the day.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That big event is happening on Thursday, the 13th.
A former Toronto flight attendant who'd spent years pretending he was a pilot has pleaded guilty to cheating airlines out of hundreds of free flights. Dallas Pekornik used a forged pilot ID from a Toronto-based airline to get seats on more than 200 flights. This went on for about 4 years before his identification was flagged in Panama in October. He posted his lavish travel lifestyle on social media frequently. The Toronto airline he claimed to pilot for hasn't been named. In the plea agreement, 3 U.S. airlines identified are based in Chicago, Honolulu, and Fort Worth. Pekornik pleaded guilty to wire fraud and has agreed to pay the airlines back. He is now awaiting sentencing in Hawaii. Coming up, we're going to learn all about the food at the Slovenia Pavilion. We're continuing our journey around Folklorama. Stay with us. Let's go back now to the Slovenia Pavilion with our Ainsley McPhail. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. We told you to Google the fish that, well, first of all, there's no fish on the menu, so don't worry about that. But we told you to Google that fish earlier that we learned about at the Slovenia Pavilion, and I hope you did. It's very fascinating. We've had many conversations about it this morning, but we're really talking about what's on the menu. When you come here, it's made with love. Tell us a little bit about the menu, Miranda.
Thank you so much. So we have a barbecue pork and chicken meal here that you can see. We've got coleslaw and potato salad. They're both vinaigrette, which is delicious. And then a krajinska klobasa, which is a traditional Slovenian sausage. We've also got palačinka that you can see there. So they're either jam-filled or cottage cheese. I picked the cottage cheese. That's my favorite, but both are delicious. And then you can't leave the pavilion without having some pastries. So they're all homemade by the community. We've got a Ljubljanica tort there, which is a nice like chestnut filling and chocolate cake, delicious. And then we've got like a dobosh tort in the back here, so that has like it's kind of like a caramelly, it's a rum filling, and then a potica, so that's a traditional walnut roll. We do a lot of honey in our cooking as well, or our baking, and so this is a medenjaki here with it, which is a honey cookie.
That must take a lot of prep behind the scenes. Am I right about that?
Yes, absolutely. But we do it together as a community, so it's a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness. When it comes to the crepes, and pardon my pronunciation, so I'll lean that one back on you again. Is there a flavor to the cottage cheese one?
If you do it properly, then there's a little bit of lemon. Yeah, it's like a lemon and sour cream, and then the cottage cheese as well. Okay. Yeah.
What do people love about these hearty meals time and time again that keeps them coming back to the Slovenia Pavilion?
You already said it. We've been around for 51 years. Our menu has changed somewhat over the past 51 years, but not too much. So that's what keeps people coming back. It's the spice blend that we use on the pork and chicken. It's delicious.
And amazing beverages.
Yes. So we partnered with Baltic Brothers, and we have like a Hugo Spritz. So if you're in Slovenia, you'll often see the Hugo Spritz, and you'll have one on the patio. So there's some champagne in there. There's a plum vodka, which I think has been a theme for the Slavic countries. A little bit of mint in there, and then we have the Radenska mineral water. You'll see that a lot in Slovenia as well. And then the Kokta, which is like a herbal kind of drink. It has like 11 herbs, not very sweet.
And it's interesting, too, because that's not something that you're going to get at your average convenience store.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can get it in the imported stores, but yeah, not as common for sure.
Another thing that we love about Folklorama, more coming up at 7:42.
Looks delicious. Thank you, Ainsley. And the weather today doesn't look so bad either. We're going to get some sunshine at least.
Yeah, Ainsley mentioned patios there. Could be a really nice day to go out, grab some lunch on a patio. Right now, 11 degrees, pretty much clear skies, very, very light winds out of the west-southwest. Pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 100%. Taking a look at the Skywatch satellite, parts of the parklands, including Dauphin and Swan River. A little bit of rain there this morning. It is moving across into the east, so the Interlake, including Gimli, could see a few little scattered showers today, as could parts of the north. Here in Winnipeg, yeah, as I mentioned, great day for a patio, a high of 25 degrees later this afternoon. But with that, we're going to see some clouds rolling in, so a little bit of a cloudier evening ahead. And overnight, those clouds are going to kick around as we dip down to 14 degrees, but the wind staying light, northwest at 10 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow, waking up likely to what we saw today and getting up to 24 in the afternoon with the light winds kicking around and a mix of sun and cloud. And looking at our long range forecast on Thursday, a high of 23 under a mix of sun and cloud. Now Friday is when we could see a little bit of a change. There is a chance of some showers developing into the evening, and on Saturday a chance of showers throughout the day into that evening, a high of 22 then. On Sunday, high of 24, a lot more sunshine, and then Monday getting up to 26. And taking a look at next week, it could be even warmer than that as we move through the week, but Monday, high of 26 with a risk of thunderstorms.
RCMP and Thompson are asking for the public's help to locate a missing 41-year-old man. Mounties say Tobin Pedagun was last seen leaving his residence on Robinson Way in Thompson during the evening of August the 8th. Despite an extensive search aided by a drone, he has not been located. Toban's family and police are concerned for his well-being. Toban is described as 6 feet 1 inch tall with a slim build and long black hair. He was last seen wearing a black sweater, blue jeans, and black shoes. If anyone has any information on his whereabouts or has seen Toban, they are asked to contact the Thompson RCMP at 204-677-6909 or Crime Stoppers. The province's police watchdog has been called in after a cyclist was rushed to hospital following a crash involving a police vehicle Friday night. The IIU says the officers were responding to a call for assistance and were westbound on Portage Avenue. Police say the officers entered the intersection of Portage and Gary Street on a green light and struck the cyclist who was traveling north on Gary. The IIU says the officers got out of their vehicle and provided first aid to the cyclist. She was later rushed to hospital and treated for a fractured clavicle and bruising. The IIU is asking anyone who may have witnessed the crash or have video footage to contact them. One person has been sent to hospital after an early morning high-rise fire. Firefighters were called to this apartment building in the 500 block of Elgin Avenue around 4:30 Sunday morning. Smoke was found coming from inside the building as crews attacked the blaze. It took about an hour to get it under control. One person was rushed to hospital in unstable condition. The cause of the fire is under investigation. A New York jury has convicted a 46-year-old Montreal man of second-degree murder in the death of his 9-year-old daughter. Luciano Fratellini reported his daughter missing last July at the end of their week-long trip in the United States. Her body was found the next day about 400 kilometers north of New York City in a marsh with a large rock on her chest and covered by a fallen tree. Fratellini had reported his daughter was kidnapped by 2 men, but investigators later arrested him for the child's murder. He was also convicted of concealing her body. A class action lawsuit has been settled following the crash landing of an Air Canada flight from Toronto to Halifax more than a decade ago. The plane had to land about 200 meters short of the runway after striking power lines during a snowstorm in March 2015. 25 of 133 passengers on board were injured. On Monday, the Nova Scotia Supreme Court approved a settlement that requires Air Canada to pay more than $15 million. NAV Canada will pay $2 million and the Halifax International Airport Authority $1 million. The amount of compensation will vary based on a person's injuries, and the agreement does not include any admission or finding of liability by the defendants. U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order calling for fewer childhood vaccinations by limiting the inoculation schedule to 11 immunizations.
Where they have a vaccination that looks like the size of a bottle of soda poured into a little child's body. And bad things happen in too many cases, because this is an explosion. This is an epidemic.
The order also recommends splitting up the MMR vaccine into 3 shots at 3 different times. Public health experts say the immunization schedule was based on decades of evidence showing the vaccines could protect against serious illness and death. Studies also show the number of shots reflect the specific health needs of Americans. They say reducing the recommended vaccines will leave more children vulnerable to preventable diseases. U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was also part of the announcement. He's previously linked some vaccines to autism. Scientists have repeatedly debunked those claims. There are now 11 candidates vying for the city's top job. Realtor Brad Gross has officially registered his candidacy for mayor. Gross says his main priorities include building a safer city, finding long-term solutions for the city's streets, and bringing back the previous transit system. He previously ran for mayor in 2010. Winnipeggers head to the polls October 28th. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. Following the rush on Grant Avenue, the westbound curb lane will be closed from Kenaston to Edgeland Boulevard. The eastbound curb lane on Sterling Lyon will be closed from Wilkes to Kenaston. And on Regent Avenue, the westbound curb and median lanes will be closed from Rougeau to Staffon Road. Let's look now at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.64. It's a small drop from yesterday's amount. And the lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Taking a look outside right now, it is sunny and 11 degrees. More news, weather, and traffic after the break.
Pretty clear skies and 11 degrees outside right now. Light winds out of the west-southwest at 5 clicks. Pressure rising, humidity sitting at 100%. Very lackluster day here in the southeast, though. Parts of western Manitoba rolling through central Manitoba. Light rain this morning, but expected to kind of taper off as we move through the morning. Let's take a look around the province at some highs today, getting up to around 12 in Churchill. Chance of some rain there. Cloudy in Gillam at 18. In Thompson, 20 degrees. It's showing some clouds, maybe a little bit of rain there as well here on Tuesday. Up in the northwest, 23 degrees in the Paw and Norway House. Maybe a few scattered showers in that region as well. High of 17 up in Lynn Lake. To our west out in Brandon, 24-degree high today under mainly cloudy skies. 23 with a little bit of rain on tap in Neepawa. Cooler up in Dauphin and Swan River. That's where we've already seen a little bit of rain. Risk of some thunderstorms there. Here in Winnipeg and the surrounding area, cloudy skies later in the day. Highs between 24 and 26. Chance of some rain up in Gimli as well with a high of 22. And just over the border in northwest Ontario, 22 in Red Lake today, 24 in Kenora and Dryden. Little sunnier out in Fort Francis. And our 7-day forecast here in Winnipeg, 25 today, 24 tomorrow, with a mix of sun and cloud. Clouds rolling in Friday with a chance of some showers. Much of the same on Saturday with a high of 22 before the sun returns on Sunday, high of 24.
August 11th, 1934. The first federal prisoners arrived at the island prison Alcatraz in San Francisco Bay. The arrival marked the opening of what would become America's most notorious prison. The prison was created to house prisoners deemed too dangerous, violent, or escape-prone to be housed at other prisons. August 11th, 2011. Montreal's Anthony Calvillo became the first quarterback in CFL history to throw 400 career TD passes, and just the fourth pro quarterback to reach that plateau. He also surpassed the 70,000-yard milestone. The mark was reached in a game against Edmonton, which Montreal won handily, 24-7. He was only the fourth professional quarterback to hit the 400 mark. August 11th, 2025. Air Canada flight attendants picketed at major airports in Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, and Montreal. Their union said it was a national day of action as it looked to raise awareness about what it called poverty wages and unpaid labor when working on a plane when it was not in the air. The two sides had been in contract talks since the beginning of the year.
Let's go back now to Ainsley, who's live at the Slovenia Pavilion this morning. We're going to learn a little bit more about the dance and the culture. Good morning.
Yes, we love our live performances on Your Morning Winnipeg. Miranda and Julian are going to take it away soon. But first, please tell me about this dance.
So we call it the hanky dance. So it's kind of a courting or a flirting dance. So we use a hanky, and so it's a way to touch without touching back in the day. So you'll see that we will not let go of the hanky from each other. So we're connected for the entire dance.
Mm-hmm. And this group been around, or there's a group that's been around for over 7 decades. Tell us about this milestone.
It's the Triglav Dance Ensemble. It's our oldest dance group. So we've been together for a long time as a Slovenian community. It's one of our proudest accomplishments is having a dance group that's been together for so long. Sometimes the community has been here and there, right, with connecting with each other, but it's always the dance group that brings them together. So we've learned a lot of regions over the past few decades, and we're really proud to showcase the different costumes and the culture through that way.
Mm-hmm. And audiences keep coming back too. What do you think they love about watching?
Everything. And every region has something a little bit different. So we do like a fly where the ladies, come off the ground with that the men fly them in the Bella Carina region. There's, a lot of yahoo and things like that. So it's really engaging and entertaining.
You know what? I'll stick with my chicken dance. But first, we're going to see the pros.
Amazing.
Take it away.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. We're learning more about plans to develop a significant area in East Winnipeg. The South Transcona development encompasses some 1,300 acres between Plessis Road and Murdoch Road, south of Dugald. Documents posted to the city's website indicate it's broken up into 4 sections. 2 existing areas occupy the northeast and central areas. The report says those will evolve over the course of the project, with any changes on the part of existing residents being voluntary. Future development is expected to be anchored by 2 areas, the West Town area and the East Town area. At the center of each are plans for higher density, mixed-use housing, retail, and facilities such as schools and grocery stores. A key piece of the plan is a corridor system linking the various green spaces and natural areas. The entire plan is expected to accommodate more than 20,000 people in 7,800 units and support 950 jobs. Computers go through three stages. They start off as state-of-the-art, then become obsolete, and finally arrive at vintage. The annual Vintage Computer Festival in California is a celebration of classic tech. Star attractions are vintage machines from IBM, Commodore, and Atari. 2026 is a big year for fans of old computers. It marks 50 years since the founding of a little tech company called Apple. Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 11th birthday, Chloe, with love from your family. Happy 51st birthday, Shannon, from family and friends. Happy 7th birthday, Everly. Love your mom, dad, and brother. Happy birthday, Michael. Love all your family. Wishing George a very blessed birthday. Love Mom and Vince. And a happy 25th anniversary to Michelle and David from Mom, Val, and the whole family. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
Talk about consistency. Our highs and lows are basically in line with the average for this time of year and what we saw last year as well, but falling quite short from that record high of 37.1 back in 2018. The sun just went behind City Place there, so a little less bright than last time I was out here, but still a beautiful start to your Tuesday. 11 degrees with those mainly clear skies. Lightest winds I've seen up here in a while, west southwest at 5 clicks. Pressure rising, humidity sitting at 100%. And those clear skies will last for much of the day, or at least much of the morning. We should see some clouds rolling in closer to dinner time, but getting up, as I mentioned, around 25 degrees this afternoon. Most of the province around those seasonal averages as well. High of 24 out in Brandon today. It's 9 degrees there right now. Parts of the north and central Manitoba could see some scattered showers as we move through Tuesday, but nothing extreme, nothing significant in terms of rainfall. Fairly dry here in the south, and yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day. Hopefully those clouds just stay away for a little longer so we can enjoy those late afternoon temperatures.
When anaphylaxis begins, even a minute's hesitation in giving epinephrine can have serious consequences. That's why a new nasal spray is being welcomed by Canadians with severe allergies. CTV's Pauline Chan explains.
Lainey Choddiker has had many experiences using an EpiPen on her young kids.
5 or 6 on both kids. I have 2 sons and they both have multiple severe food allergies. Dairy, peanuts, tree nuts, sesame, soy, egg, garlic.
And she says it's not just tough managing what they eat.
It's also about, especially when kids are little, what are the other kids eating and are they handling all the same toys? Are kids washing hands?
Because allergic reactions can progress to anaphylaxis, you need to be ready and willing to give yourself a life-saving medication.
And while the Choddiker boys are okay with needles, hesitation to use epinephrine devices like an EpiPen are common.
Is hard. Giving it to a small child, giving that medication to a bystander, like helping somebody that's having an allergic reaction when it's a needle-based device, that's proven to be quite a barrier.
That's why the Choddiker family is glad that Neffy, a nasal spray form of epinephrine, has been approved in Canada.
The current Health Canada indication is for patients weighing 30 kilograms or 66 pounds and above. So on average, the 8-9-year-old with some variability.
The nasal spray works in seconds, just like an EpiPen. It has been tested for safety in a range of conditions from 50 degrees Celsius to use after being frozen. And it doesn't expire for 30 months.
I think as they get older and the onus shifts from me administering to them administering, this could be an option for them to make sure that there's not that fear.
Choddiker doesn't have the Neffy yet, but is hoping to for the start of the school year. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
It's said you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but it's certain a new dog can learn some old tricks. Here's ABC's Danny New.
Here and dig.
We have an update on a story we brought you in the spring about a gigantic Newfoundland named Chewy and his 96-year-old best pal, Barb.
It's really my dog. I hope she knows but she realizes it's my dog.
After warming millions of hearts around the world while they gardened together, Barb has sadly passed away. Her granddaughter, Amy, who lives next door with Chewy and her family, says it was very sudden and likely from pneumonia.
We were really upset about it, but, you know, she was 96. She lived a long, happy, healthy life. So I rest easy knowing that.
And we know she felt the love. Just a few weeks before Barb passed, Amy opened up a mailbox for her and Chewy to hear from their many fans. And as you can see, the letters and packages were seemingly endless.
Even though it was the last 2 weeks of her life, she still would read those letters to Chewy. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Chew, you gonna come out of the bathtub today, buddy?
But when this sudden loss came, Amy says Chewy was so sad he spent much of the day in the bathtub. They knew they had to do something.
Chewy, look!
The family sprung into action and adopted a Newfoundland puppy named Mabel, which was Barb's middle name.
So then we came up with the idea to get him a baby, a puppy. And he fell in love with her.
What are you guys doing?
Over the past few weeks, Chewy has been showing Mabel the ropes, including the essential duty of leading Amy's children to the bus stop. Now, Amy says they are basically inseparable. Even enjoying sunsets together, too, just like Barb and Chewy used to do.
He just softens up for her. It's really cute.
Danny New, ABC News, New York.
That's sweet. A very special visitor went to the Tuxedo Community Center Monday afternoon. Yes, that is the Stanley Cup arriving in the arms of Seth Jarvis, who helped claim hockey's ultimate prize this season with the Carolina Hurricanes. Folks got a chance to meet Jarvis and have their photo taken with him and the cup. Jarvis grew up in Winnipeg and played for the Tuxedo Lightning, Assiniboine Park Rangers, and Winnipeg Monarchs.
I mean, it's only, at least in my lifetime, I've only seen like two Winnipeggers, like Mark Stone and now Seth Jarvis, to ever raise the cup, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's like good to see somebody from our city to win the cup.
And those two youngsters were far from the only ones. The lineup to get into the building stretched across the center grounds and beyond.
Hi, everyone. Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for it, we're going to go to downtown Toronto with the Blue Jays taking on the Red Sox. Nathan Lucas at the dish. He bunts into foul territory. Connor Wong lays out to make the spectacular grab. The Red Sox catcher going all out to make the play, putting his body on the line and paying the price as he hits the ground pretty hard. Wong would be all right, although the Red Sox would lose 2-1 in Toronto. That is your must-see moment from Monday. And tonight on TSN, we've got action from the WNBA. Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham in action for the Indiana Fevers. They take on the New York Liberty. It all starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on TSN 1 and 4. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
It's Tuesday, August 11th. Consumption site to open in Winnipeg after months of controversy. The Manitoba government will inaugurate what it says is a safer approach to drug use. Safer trails. A couple of close calls with cyclists prompt one couple to say it's time the city made trails safer for people on foot. And on the ropes, you'll never guess how many jumps these skippers made in just a single minute as they chase a world record. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Tuesday to you. It is 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, there's a lot of festivals. There's a lot of concerts. The Bomber Game is happening on Friday. Lots going on in our city this weekend, including the Street Feast Festival. And street is EAT, which means food, of course. Food, vendors, music, all kinds of things happening at the Forks over a 4-day, starting Thursday, going into Sunday. So we're going to have details on what's happening there. And if you want to check it out, it's free and you're going to have a good time. So we're going to have details on that. It's the 4th annual. So
very cool.
Lots of great things happening in our city, but we want good weather when those great things happen. And there might be a little bit of rain on the forecast.
Yeah, it's we've had a great start to the week, but we could see some rain later Friday, Saturday. We'll get to that in a moment. But outside right now, 11 degrees, mainly clear skies. Very light winds out of the west-southwest at 5 clicks. Pressure is rising. Humidity sitting at 100%. Uneventful morning in the southeast. We did have a little bit of fog to start the day, but there is a system rolling across the Parklands and Interlake this morning. Light rain, nothing too severe or significant, but that should taper off as we move through the next few hours. Other parts of the province could see some scattered showers today, including up north and again in the Parklands area. I'll try to give the full province a shot here. But we're starting with some clear skies, but we should see some more clouds roll into the south this afternoon. Up north again, some cloud coverage. And as you look at the satellite there, just random scattered showers throughout parts of the province. Wednesday as well here in the south. Going to clear out pretty nicely heading into your Thursday. And that's when we're going to start seeing temperatures kind of dip a little bit. 23 on Thursday under mix of sun and cloud. But Friday, when all that stuff is happening, clouds are expected to come in. There is a 30% chance of some showers late that afternoon and evening. And that's going to carry on into Saturday as well with a 60% chance of rain. But Sunday, for those festivals, high of 24, plenty of sunshine on the way. Our weather art of the day is from 8-year-old Paisley. Thank you so much for sending this in. To submit your children's artwork or picture, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form. Your art can be shown on Your Morning Winnipeg, and we'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift card from Crocodoodle on Kenaston and Regent.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crocodoodle Paint Your Own Pottery, now open on Regent and Kenaston.
When you come to Dufresne on the 13th, you're supporting so many Manitobans. Joining me now is Callie to share all about Dream Big. What do they do?
You know, I get the pleasure that I get to run our Dream Big charity. And really what the Dream Big charity is when you purchase a mattress from Dufresne, a portion of that goes directly to Dream Big, and we give mattresses to people in need. So when you come in on the 13th and you learn about our sleep event, there's so many great things, like you could save on mattresses and there's free gifts, but really you get to make a big change for somebody in your community.
Mm-hmm. And who does it help? How is it helping them?
You know, this year we celebrated a 10-year partnership with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, where we gave 100 beds to kids across Manitoba. And it was a special day where we bring kids to the stadium from Big Brothers Big Sisters, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, some really great charities in the community. And they play like a bomber. And in the end, we surprise them with a bed of their own. And the next day we deliver them. And it's an incredible event where we get to bring kids and community together to, you know, help give a better night's sleep to those who are in need.
That just sounds magical. And there's more ways to give, more ways to help for Manitobans.
Yeah, so right now, when you come into the event for sleep, we have a great partnership with Bed Gear, where not only when you buy your mattress, it goes to Dream Big, but $5 from your pillow purchase will also go to Dream Big, so we could just make a larger contribution across, you know, Canada, not just in Manitoba.
Thank you so much. Once again, this is happening on Thursday, the 13th.
Manitoba's first supervised consumption site is set to fully open today in Winnipeg after lengthy delays. The province aimed to open a site in 2025, but pushback against the initially chosen location and other complications caused delays. The NDP government is partnering with the nonprofit agency Aboriginal Health and Wellness to run the site. The site on Henry Avenue in central Winnipeg has been criticized by some business owners and residents concerned about security, while the opposition Progressive Conservatives have said the government should focus on treatment. The site doesn't provide drugs, but is meant as a place where the potential harms of using them can be reduced, while also connecting people to support services. North Kildonan residents are speaking out over an area trail they say is becoming more and more dangerous due to unsafe cyclists. And they want the city to step up after a husband and wife were hit twice on Sunday night.
He literally drove into us. So he was on his phone. He had his headphones. I think he got scared as well as we did.
Trail walker Oksana Melnick is describing the second of two incidents within minutes of each other in which two different cyclists on the Northeast Pioneers Greenway Trail made sudden physical contact with her and her husband. Melnick wants the city to invest in signage along the trail, reminding cycle riders to be more aware and more considerate of pedestrians. Mark Coho, Executive Director of Bike Winnipeg, says cyclists should give pedestrians a heads up when passing.
I've got a bell, helps me
let people know that I'm behind them. If I'm on a pathway, I want to make sure I'm giving people space as well.
Coho says while all cyclists should be cautious, those on e-bikes need to consider their bike's weight and speed when sharing a trail. He says there is supposed to be a limit on e-bikes, a maximum speed of 32 kilometers an hour. He's calling on the federal government to consider reviewing e-bikes to ensure they comply before they come into Canada. Winnipeg's Health Sciences Centre has fallen victim to a ransomware attack. That's according to a Monday evening statement from Shared Health, which says an investigation into the attack's nature and scope are underway. Shared Health says HSC's maintenance systems, such as HVAC and door access, are affected by the attack. The agency says clinical and patient care services continue uninterrupted, and those needing care at HSC are being told to still go there. Shared Health says the Manitoba government has been notified. CTV News has reached out to the province but has not yet heard back. Shared Health says experts are being called in to help resolve the latest hacking. Say more details will be provided when they are available. 3 teenagers in China have set a record you need to see and hear to believe. These 3 12-year-olds in southwest China just broke a world record at the 2026 Asian Jump Rope Championships. They made 496 successful jumps in just 60 seconds in the team event. It takes a lot of effort to be this good. Students at the school train 2 to 3 hours daily and even longer on holidays, 8 to 10 hours a day. That's incredible. Here's a look at what's happening now on Donald Street. Traffic is moving quite well in this part of the city, as you can see. If you have any problems out there, please send us a text when it's safe and legal to do so.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Let's go back now to the Slovenia Pavilion with our Ainsley McPhail. We saw a dance earlier. What are we going to see now, Ainsley?
Good morning. I know I've talked about this Slovenian fish throughout the morning, and maybe it's getting a little redundant, but I want to show you, because when I come to these pavilions, one of the first things I say to people like Ava is there anything unique or different about your culture that you want people to know? And the first thing they said was, well, we have this fish that feels like human skin. So there are some pictures of the fish that we've been talking about, but what makes it so unique, Ava?
Well, it's very unique because it can live up to 100 years, which is pretty cool. I think you said that. It can swim, obviously. It's kind of like a salamander-like creature, and it has the skin of a actual human being. It's very interesting, and it's also blind.
Well, well, well. This cultural display is fabulous because it showcases so many different regions of Slovenia. This one here is where your family's from.
Yes, actually. So these are not my actual family, but they are in the community. So Prekmurje is known for corn husk baskets. As you can see, I have one here too. Not sure where this one was made, but obviously Prekmurje has a lot of them. And then we are also known for our pottery. So yes, Slovenia has a lot of different potteries, but Prekmurje is known for it because we have a different design compared to other regions, and just a different glaze also.
There's something to do with luck that you were referencing earlier.
So these are the storks. So the storks, it is counted very lucky if you have a stork's nest on your chimney, at the top of your chimney. So it's just a lucky thing. Yeah.
What a privilege it is to be able to browse here and kind of hop from region to region. This display is gorgeous.
Yes. So this is the Gorenska region, and those 2 people in the photo, those are actually my grandparents, my grandpa and my babica. Babica means grandma in Slovenian. So I don't know if you can see there, but there is the headpiece that I was talking about. My babica actually made that herself. They're just gold, I don't know, how would you say, flakes? Yeah. And then you just sew it, and it has cardboard on the inside, and then you can make a beautiful design out of it.
Grandmothers are the best. Yeah. We're out of time, but you know what? We've got another segment at 8:38.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
The sun is shining and it's up to 15 degrees out there right now. Wind out of the north at only 3 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising, humidity sitting at 99%. It's warming up. It feels great out there right now. And looking around the rest of the province, let's start in this region. Similar temperatures throughout. 14 in Portage, 14 in Pinawa, 16 down in Morden, Winkler, and already 17 across the border in Kenora. To our west, a little cooler out there, 12 degrees in Brandon this hour. Dauphin and Swan River, 15 degrees. You saw some rain earlier today, maybe a little bit more over the rest of the morning. And up in the north, in the northwest, 15 degrees in the Paw and Flin Flon as well. A little cooler at 12 degrees in Lynn Lake. Thompson looking at around 13 degrees, 16 degrees in Island Lake right now, and 11 degrees all the way up in Churchill. Not too much to show you on the Skywatch satellite today, but we have been tracking that storm moving across central Manitoba. Could see some rain in the Interlake as we move through the day as well. And speaking of the day here in Winnipeg, 15 degrees this hour, getting up to between 24, 25 degrees later this afternoon. Wind picking up just a little bit out of the southwest, but clouds rolling in as we move into the evening. And tonight dipping down to around 14 degrees, getting up to 24 again tomorrow under a mix of sun and cloud, 23 on Thursday. Over the weekend, we could see some showers on Friday night into Saturday, but the sunshine returning on Sunday with a high of 24. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back with more of Your Morning Winnipeg.
Barrick Mining has appointed Sebastian Bach as Chief Executive Officer, Rest of World, effective immediately, with Bach reporting to President and CEO Mark Hill. Bach will lead Barrick's gold and copper operations outside North America, spanning Africa, the Middle East, Latin America, and the Asia-Pacific region. The company is in the middle of a controversial plan to spin off its North American operations. The stock closed down more than 6% yesterday. Canada could have a new energy customer as South Korea confirms it will keep up a search for oil supplies from outside the Middle East on expectations the Iran war will cause prolonged disruptions. Substitute crudes will be sought from regions including the Americas and Africa to try and stabilize local prices. Lululemon's Chief Strategy Officer, Rachel Atchison, left the company about a month before new Chief Executive Officer Heidi O'Neill is set to take over the retailer, according to a person familiar who asked not to be named, discussing confidential matters. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
The month of July was a record-breaking month for real estate in the city. That's according to the Winnipeg Regional Real Estate Board's monthly market analysis last month, which saw Winnipeg's highest ever July prices for both detached homes and condos. And joining us now from the Winnipeg Regional Real Estate Board is Dan O'Brien. Good morning, Dan.
Hi, good morning,
Thank
Michelle.
you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So break down some of these numbers. It was a record-breaking July because of the price of detached homes, right?
That is correct. So this is the highest price on record for any July.
Okay, and so what does that look like in terms of numbers?
Well, average sale price in Winnipeg for residential detached was $486,000. That's about 3% up over last year.
Okay.
So prices were up about $15,000 in that category.
Okay, and so and for condos, what were the numbers? Condo
was $290,000 for our market region, which is Winnipeg and the towns outside of Winnipeg. $286,000 in Winnipeg. And also the highest July on record.
And what was it last year with condos?
We are up 2%, so roughly 5,000 or 6,000 less.
Okay, so what do you think's happening? Why is this going up like this?
You know, there's still very, very strong demand. There's certainly more buyers out there than there is homes for sale, and it can be competitive at times. There's strong buyer demand, which is great for sellers. Mm-hmm. It's also good for buyers right now. There's more selection available than there was last year.
But it could be competitive. So when you see a home you love, you should prepare yourself for some adjustments to your bargaining amounts, right?
Possibly. Someone else might love that home, and then you're in a competing offer situation, and someone's going to get the home and someone's not. So there can be some disappointment at times.
Okay, so let's talk about trends, because we know that with the trade war happening with the U.S. and there's so many concerns about our economy. Mm-hmm. When you have sales like this, when it comes to home sales, is it an indicator of how our economy is doing?
I think it is. I mean, what we know about Winnipeg and our region is the housing market has been slow and steady increases for many years. We don't have the large fluctuations that the big cities have experienced, Vancouver, Toronto, where they have years where it's way up and then it's down the next year. We really haven't experienced that in our market region for many, many years. As a matter of fact, that in the last 30 years, we've only had one down year.
Okay. So any other trends that are interesting about some of these latest numbers that you're seeing?
Well, it is good to see more selection out there. So many times for buyers, they can shop in a neighborhood and look at more than one property within their price range. So that's great.
Yep.
Luxury market is moving well as well. So we have, the 1 million category. There was 21 sales of $1 million or higher in the month of July, and that was up from last year as well.
That's incredible. Okay, well, let's talk about if someone right now is looking to buy a new home, any advice for them?
I would say meet with the realtor, see as many homes as you can within a short amount of time within your price range so you can compare, see what's out there, see what they sell at, and build a strategy around finding a home within the timeline of when you need to purchase.
Okay, what about those who are wanting to sell? Any advice to them on how to get it right so they can be in this larger price range?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Again, meet with your realtor, find out if you need to stage the home, when to hit the market. It's about being ready and preparing. Anything else you want people to know? No, I think that's it.
Okay, well, that was great. And if you want more information, we do have a link on our website as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's about 15 degrees up on the rooftop right now. Few clouds slowly rolling in and very light winds out of the north at about 3 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising and humidity sitting at 99%. We're looking for a daytime high between 24 25 today. That's right in line with our seasonal average and what we saw last year as well, and what we saw yesterday too. Around the rest of the province, you can see the temperatures on the screen there. 15 in Dauphin, where we've seen a little bit of rain this morning. 14 just outside in Portage, La Prairie. 12 in Brandon. Those daytime highs are going to be similar to what we see here in Winnipeg. As we move through the day, though, more clouds are expected to roll in. 25, as I mentioned, late this afternoon. Going to feel closer to 28 with that humidex. Tonight, dipping down to around 14 degrees with still clouds in the sky. Not much precipitation on tap until this weekend here in Winnipeg, and I'll have those full details coming up on when we could need some umbrellas, especially if you're heading out to some of those events. And but yeah, for now, let's enjoy what we have because it's going to be a beautiful day. And speaking of beautiful, look at those pelicans taken by Lily out in Lockport. Thank you so much for sending that in, and keep those pictures coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Welcome back. A Vancouver-based company says a new drug is showing promising signs of treating the symptoms of menopause. Here's CTV's Adrian Gabriel.
It's a natural biological stage that nearly every woman will have to navigate in their life, though it's packed with stigma as well as debilitating symptoms.
Dry eyes to brain fog to mood changes, anxiety, night sweats, hot flashes. Every system in the body can be affected.
Positive signs from a new experimental menopause drug that could help decrease hot flashes has been developed by a Vancouver-based company called Abcelera. Now, the news has sent the company's stock skyward, while also providing hope for those searching for a non-hormonal alternative to hormone therapy.
There's so many women who, unfortunately they have breast cancer, for example, and they can't take hormones, right? So this would be like a good alternative.
Advocates say that for too long, women have been suffering in silence, unable to access reliable treatments during their prime adult years.
At the height of my professional career, I had never heard of the word perimenopause, had no idea that you could have 30-plus symptoms.
A study by the Menopause Foundation of Canada found that 1 in 2 women feel unprepared for this stage of life, while 4 in 10 are reporting that they feel alone. Janet Coe co-founded the foundation to help break down the taboo and to close the knowledge gap while working to improve treatment.
For myself, it was a long and winding path to finding health and wellness, and I actually stepped away from an SVP role in my prime to really figure out what was happening to myself.
A 2003 study on menopause and work in Canada estimates that the unmanaged symptoms of menopause cost the economy $3.5 billion per year. While healthcare providers and advocates say today's announcement of a new possible treatment is positive news, more research and funding is needed to support women across the country.
An additional 12-week trial is expected for the new drug later this year. If approved, dosage would likely be a once-a-month self-injection. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Farming in Canada is not easy or cheap. That's why researchers are exploring a lesser-known crop with growing potential to cut costs. CTV's Maria Saru on the so-called wonder grain that could also be good for the environment.
A lot of costs associated with planting a crop, so if you can get away with planting it once every 3 to 5 years, then you save those inputs.
Research scientist Aaron Mills says wheat can cost up to $800 to plant per acre, but for Kernza, it's closer to $100. And it can also do double duty, producing both grain and forage for livestock. But there are trade-offs like lower returns, and the market is limited, making it a good fit for farmers looking for a rotational crop.
It's not for everybody. What we try to do is add more tools to the toolbox for farmers.
One of Kernza's biggest advantages may be below ground. Its roots stay in the soil year-round, storing carbon pulled from the atmosphere. And because it needs less fertilizer and fewer trips across the field, researchers say it can also cut greenhouse gas emissions. Not only can it survive in maritime conditions, but also western winters. So land isn't left bare between crops.
I'm out west where this was prairie, and the great soils that we had were the result of having the permanent ground cover. So there are some maybe long-term benefits for all of us.
He adds Kernza is already being used to make artisan bread and brew beer, but there's potential for more. Researchers are now watching to see just how long Kernza can keep growing in the same field before it needs to be replanted. Maria Saru, CTV News, Harrington, Prince Edward Island.
Here's a look at what's happening right now on Notre Dame Avenue. So far, things appear to be moving quite well in this part of the city. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Daniel, we're seeing a lot of sunshine today.
Yeah, for now at least. Yeah. We'll probably see some more cloud later, but let's enjoy it while it lasts. Absolutely beautiful Tuesday morning, 15 degrees, mainly clear skies, light winds out of the north at 3 clicks, pressure rising, humidity sitting at 99%. Pretty uneventful day here in the southeast so far. A little fog here and there to start the day. In parts of western Manitoba, though, we've had a system rolling through areas like Swan River and Dauphin. Going to trickle into the Interlake over the next couple hours as well. Nothing significant, though. Some light rain periods here in Winnipeg today, getting up to around 25 this afternoon. Under a mix of sun and cloud, winds out of the southwest at 10. As we get into the later afternoon, we should see some more clouds coming in for making it a little bit of a maybe gloomy evening. Gloomy's not the word, but you know what I mean. 14 degrees overnight, wind shifting out of the northwest at 10 kilometers per hour. Mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, pretty much what we're seeing today, a high of 24 under a mix of sun and cloud, fairly light winds. And as we look at the rest of the week, Thursday, 23 degrees, mix of sun and cloud as well. Now, Friday is when things kind of shift a little bit. We could see some showers later in the afternoon into the evening and overnight into Saturday, where more showers are expected. But great news on Sunday, we should see a good amount of sun, high of 24. And Monday, temperatures start climbing again up to 26 that day, with a risk of some thunderstorms developing that afternoon.
RCMP and Thompson are asking for the public's help to locate a missing 41-year-old man. Mounties say Tobin Petagun was last seen leaving his residence on Robinson Way in Thompson during the evening of August the 8th. Despite an extensive search aided by a drone, he has not been located. Tobin's family and police are concerned for his well-being. Tobin is described as 6 feet 1 inch tall with a slim build and long black hair. He was last seen wearing a black sweater, blue jeans, and black shoes. If anyone has any information on his whereabouts or has seen Tobin, they are asked to contact the Thompson RCMP at 204-677-6909 or Crime Stoppers. A reminder now, the Louise Bridge is closed this week for resurfacing work. The bridge closed to vehicles yesterday morning and isn't expected to reopen until next Monday at 6 a.m. You'll instead want to take the Disraeli or Pitavache Bridge. The west sidewalk remains open to pedestrians and cyclists. People in the midst of an opioid overdose are about to get a new intervention. Soon, the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service will administer a new drug officials believe will improve outcomes. It's called buprenorphine, and it's used to prevent withdrawal symptoms from opioids. The Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service says they responded to nearly 700 overdose calls in July, sometimes seeing the same patient multiple times in one shift. The hope is this new drug will give paramedics a chance to bring the patient to hospital or help them get some other type of care that can help prevent another overdose.
This is not a new medication. It's new to us in terms of pre-hospital care within the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service and in Manitoba, but it's a medication that has been used for this purpose in the hospital setting for quite a while already, and it's being used in other places in Canada as well.
Officials say they're still working on logistics and establishing pathways for future support once the drug is administered. They hope to begin giving it to patients in the fall. To get home from last month's NATO summit, U.S. President Donald Trump reportedly aborted a secret Turkey flight via a catering truck because of possible Iranian threats. This is according to reports from the Washington Post and New York Times. Last month, Trump attended a NATO summit in Ankara. Trump boarded the old Air Force One jumbo jet headed for Britain. He was then secretly shuttled minutes later to a smaller military plane by an airport catering truck. The White House has not confirmed the switch. A 3-year-old girl is recovering after being attacked by a bear in Maple Ridge, BC, and as CTV's Ben Milger reports, the animal is still at large.
As an air ambulance takes off from a school field, RCMP officers armed with long guns set out to search for an aggressive wounded bear, still loose in a residential neighborhood. The bear had just attacked 3-year-old Anaya as she played on her family's back patio, pinning her face down just before noon on Sunday.
Suddenly, she just started screaming, like I've never heard her scream before.
As her father tried to chase the bear away, her mother grabbed the child, who was bleeding from wounds on her back, head, and neck. According to the family, the aggressive bear would not leave the yard. That's when the father took decisive action, shooting the bear with an arrow.
He had no other choice but to grab his compound bow. He did shoot the bear in the head, and the bear at that point ran off.
A short time later, police shot and killed a different bear in the neighborhood. A conservation officer praised the actions of the little girl's father.
He was acting as a dad, right? I think any parent put in that situation, your adrenaline goes up and you just kind of act, right?
Anaya underwent surgery Sunday evening, and her injuries are not considered life-altering.
I am still in shock. I have waves of just wanting to break down and just cry. But we've been staying strong for her. She's a brave little warrior. I cannot believe how tough she is.
Anaya will spend at least one more day under observation here at BC Children's Hospital. In the meantime, conservation officers continue to search for the wounded bear, which they say will be destroyed if it's found alive. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
Let's take a look now at what's happening at Main and Broadway. It looks like things are moving quite well in this part of the city. Let's look now at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.64. That's a small drop from yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Let's check your answers now to our question of the day. We want to know, what skill would you like to have, but you don't? Brenda says, the skill I don't have, but I would love to have, is playing piano. Susan wishes she had her pilot's license. Marlene shared, I still like to learn quiet exercises like yoga or meditation. Janet says, I wish I could wink. And for Elaine, she always wanted to be a veterinarian. Thank you so much for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
Let's go back now to Slovenia, where our Ainsley McPhail is live this morning at the Pavilion. Good morning.
Hello, I've brought some friends. Luke, good morning. We have the Kurint to my far right. And if that is scary to you, well, I think it's actually supposed to be the history coming up right now. Good morning, ladies, again. So, who is this?
Yeah, this is our friend the Kurint. The Kurint is found in a specific region of Slovenia, and the idea behind the Kurint is to scare away the winter spirits. It's done in February, this festival that the Kurint appears in, and it's a heavy costume. It's 150 pounds, and what the Kurint does is it jumps up and down, makes lots of noise, looks very scary, all to scare away the winter spirits. So if the Kurint wants to give us a couple jumps, you can see how loud it is.
I, too, would like to scare away the winter spirits sometimes, especially this time of year. And the feel, like everything is so authentic.
Yeah, it's made from sheep. So it came straight from Slovenia. You can only buy them in Slovenia. The bells themselves are about 50 to 75 pounds. And in Slovenia during this festival, there are around 100 to 150 of these creatures jumping up and down all at once. So it's not just one, there's a bunch of them.
Talk about loud. That's a feast for your ears for sure. This folklorama, you are focusing on different regions. Tell us about these different cultural attire pieces and which ones they show off.
Yeah, so on the far down there, Miranda's wearing a Dolenska costume. So Dolenska is a beautiful region in Slovenia. They dance specific dances that are kind of slow, very methodical, but they like to flirt with each other during lots of those dances. It's a beautiful region. A lot of musicians come from that area as well. And then Ava, next to Miranda here, is wearing our Gorenska nosha, our Gorenska costume. This is the national costume of Slovenia. So it's the prettiest costume, in my opinion, only because that's where the nobility lived. So lots of gold, lots of color, and lots of dyes are available for them.
What are the men wearing?
So the men for Dolenska are going to be wearing a red vest. It's very furry, keep them warm, because it does get a little bit cold in Slovenia. And then in Gorenska, they actually wear lederhosen. So similar to German, similar to Austrian, because there's a lot of influence coming from there, as well as bright colors. They have flowers on their vests. It's very pretty.
Thank you so much, and to all of you for sharing your wonderful culture. But first, let's scare away those spirits of the winter one more time.
Yeah, I hope it works. Thank you, Ainsley. Yeah, we don't want winter anytime soon, so hopefully that works and keeps winter away.
Yeah, we should get Ainsley to ask if the current is for hire later this year, and we can bring him up on the rooftop, do a little dance for us. May want to do a little dance today because it is absolutely beautiful out here so far. About 15 degrees here in Winnipeg. Few clouds in the sky now, but fairly bright, and sun just behind City Place there. Light winds out of the north at about 3 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising, humidity sitting at 99%. Going to get up to 24, 25 degrees here in Winnipeg today. Going to feel closer to 28 with the humidex. Wind won't be a factor. In other parts of the province, some chances of scattered precipitation in areas of the north, central, and west of us. But looks like it's going to miss us here in Winnipeg. However, we will see some more clouds roll in as the afternoon progresses, creating some pretty overcast skies this evening. Cloudy overnight as well with a low of 14. All of this is right around our seasonal averages for this time of August. Later this week, though, we could see a little bit of rain here in the forecast. Maybe Slovenia has another monster to ward that away for the weekend ahead. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more CTV Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
An Ontario company held a contest to find the oldest working air conditioner, and to the surprise of some, the winner has been cooling things off for decades. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
This old air conditioner is being removed from a home in Pickering, even though it's still running. Buttons Heating and Air Conditioning had a contest to find the oldest working air conditioner in Durham Region. And this unit, made by a company called Fetters, was still going strong.
Was it still blowing cold air? It was. I came here last week to do the confirmation. It was working, and it was cooling the house very well.
Nigel Charlton says there were more than 100 entries in the contest, which included working air conditioners that were 41, 43, and 44 years old. But this model was the oldest working unit at 52.
Look after it, keep it clean. It'll look after you.
95-year-old Lois Kemp remembers getting the air conditioner in 1974.
I was just a teenager when it was installed.
Steve Kemp says he remembers when the family got the air conditioner and says over 52 years he doesn't recall it breaking down, not even once.
It's been there since 74, and like every year we've maintained it, we've cleared it, we've covered it in the winter. We've always cleaned it in the spring, make sure it's running top notch.
Winning the contest means Lois will get a brand new Daikin air conditioner. Charlton says it will be more efficient and save her money.
Yes, it's been running for 52 years, but if anything happened, she wouldn't be able to fix it. But she's got a brand new one that's more efficient. It's going to be quieter and far less taxing on her energy bill.
This past winter, the company had a contest for the oldest working furnace. The winner came in at 69 years old.
I don't recall us ever having any troubles whatsoever. Not one.
With the new air conditioner in place, Lois is optimistic that it will last for many years to come.
Well, I hope so.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
It's a celebration of Manitoba's food, culture, and community. It's called the Street Feast Festival, and you'll find food trucks, music, and even karaoke at the Forks for the 4-day event. Joining us now with more details is organizer Lou Alarcon. Good morning, Lou.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Happy to be here.
It's 4 days this year. Last year it was 3 days. It's expanded. Why the expansion?
Well, you can't go wrong with food, right? This is truly a celebration, a 4-day celebration. So I think it's awesome to celebrate for 4 days and possibly even more for next year. Who knows?
And so let's talk about it. It starts Thursday.
Yes.
It runs until Sunday. It's happening at the Forks. What is happening?
So it's 4-day celebration. It actually starts Thursday with DJs, back-to-back DJs. Friday, it's also back-to-back DJs and band as well. And there's a lot of cultural activations. There's also lots of food, of course, food trucks, and like free karaoke, TP stories with Elder Barbara Nepanak, Stoke Station, Axe Monkey, axe throwing. So there's something for everybody.
And what I love about the name is Street is EAT.
Yes.
So when you say food, we know what that means.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of different choices, a lot of tasty treats. What do you want people to know about the local vendors who are participating and why we need to celebrate them?
Well, these are all micro entrepreneurs, and this gives them an opportunity to be able to market and to be able to sell to different people. And Winnipeg has been so supportive of local entrepreneurs. So I would love for them to just come out and try different foods, from Indigenous to Mexican to Filipino to Vietnamese, even Arabic like fruit cups. We have them, even matcha. So it's really global treats from all over the world.
And we know that Winnipeg is famous for its many different restaurants. It's delicious food here. Even Hollywood stars, when they come here and do movies, they talk about our restaurants. So we're celebrating that with your event.
Yes, absolutely. And this is something to be really proud of. I think we don't just have Manitobans coming in, but we also have people from all over Canada. Just like last year, we had a lot of tourists that came in. Some people even on a layover who actually participated in the eating contest because we had that too.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so let's talk about what made you start this whole thing 4 years ago.
Well, Lynn Alarcon and I, we both love food, and we're strong proponents of supporting local. And I always say this, that we are local businesses ourselves, and it is important to be able to support each other and truly highlight local, because at the end of the day, we are the backbone of Canada's economy. So it's incredibly important.
Let's talk about our community, just the vast array of culture and multiculturalism in this community is also amazing, and we celebrate that with your event, right?
Absolutely. It's a delicious melting pot, delicious and a really vibrant melting pot of different cultures and just also different interests. So we're very happy to be able to put that on in one place, in an iconic place like the Forks, Winnipeg. So we're just excited to have everyone, and it's free entry.
Oh yeah, see, that's really great too.
Yes.
Winnipeggers love free.
Yes, absolutely. So they can bring their lawn chairs or blankets and stay for the whole day, if not 4 days, right?
It's happening, rain or shine, and people just appear and enjoy the show, and there's so many things for the entire family to enjoy.
Yes, absolutely. So free inflatables, kids zone, as I mentioned, and free karaoke. You can't go wrong with that.
When the success that you've had with this event, you've expanded it to 4 days. You're hearing it from the vendors that are there, right?
Yeah, vendors as well as from the people. And when people speak, when people tell us, you know, the great experience that they have, of course, we're going to listen. So we're exploring a 4-day celebration this time around. So we'll see what happens.
It's really great that you're using the Forks as your meeting spot, because that's what the Forks has been for thousands of years. Yeah, so it's a great way to celebrate that as well as celebrate the future and the future businesses.
Absolutely, and we want people to come to downtown.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
This is the best thing, yes.
Okay, well, if you want more information, we do have a link on our website. Thanks, Lou.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
15 degrees outside in Winnipeg right now. Mainly sunny skies and light winds out of the north at 3 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising, humidity sitting at 99%. A little bit of rain in parts of the parklands this morning, but not much else to show you. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. Now, Rochelle said that festival's happening rain or shine, and they could get a little bit of everything. Here today, though, high of 25, under a mix of sun and cloud, going to increasingly get cloudy later in the day. Mix of sun and cloud the next couple of days, but Friday, Saturday, we could see some showers throughout the evening into Saturday, throughout that day. But Sunday looking really nice and sunny, and then the temperatures next Monday are going to start ramping up again. High of 26 and a risk of thunderstorms in the forecast. But for now, let's enjoy the sun and a beautiful day. And we'll be right back with a little more Your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Well, before we say goodbye, we're going to show you some fun video. We're going to kick things off with a reminder to tell your mom you love her more often.
Can you call your mom and tell you love her, bro? Hello, Derek, where's mom?
Right here. Why? What happened?
Hi, mom. No, I was just calling to say I love you.
What happened?
Nothing happened. I was just saying I love you.
Yeah? Are you about to get arrested? What happened?
No, nothing happened. I was just calling to say I love you.
And what else?
There's nothing else. And your cookies are amazing, and the team loves them.
Okay. Did you get involved in a protest against ICE?
No, I didn't. Nothing happened. I love you.
I guess he needs to call more often. Cameron was asked to call his mom, tell her that he loved her for the viral social media series called Love Dial. His mom is suspicious, questioning the reason for his call because he never calls unless he needs something. Yeah, it's pretty apparent.
I call my mom all the time.
Me too.
Yeah.
Now, this is a video about a toddler who is wrong and right at the same time.
And Mars?
Mars.
And Uranus.
My Uranus.
It's called Uranus.
Oh, it's called my Uranus?
2-year-old Trip is learning the names of the planets but gets a little confused with the planet Uranus. He calls it my Uranus because he thinks his mom is saying Uranus. Oh, he's so cute. Love that little shirt too.
I have the maturity of a 12-year-old, so I am cackling over here.
Stop. All right, that does it for us. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.